Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Welcome everyone to LFC Reds Forever. Hope everyone's well. It's me, your boy Nilante. I've got my co-host JK. How you doing, JK?
I'm all good, but I hope you too.
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. And today we have a special guest with us. This person is a long-time friend of mine. Good guy, man. He's an Arsenal fan, but don't worry. Don't worry, ladies and gentlemen. He's not part of AFTV. He's a real one. He don't like Coleman, and he will be expressing his views on the channel. He's a good guy. My boy G. G, how you doing this afternoon, bro?
Yeah, good. Thanks for having me on, bro. It's nice to speak to winning fans, unlike our PR fans, unfortunately.
Guys, don't forget to comment, like, share, and subscribe. Look, we've got big things going on. Me and JK haven't done the show together in a bit. Big up Fozzy. He is, obviously he is the creator. Loosely, no, I'm only joking. Fozzy's the other guy, obviously, but me and JK are part of the channel, so got loads to talk about. And big up Lady B, the Lady of Leisure. Lady B, good afternoon to you, Lady B.
Hi, Bernadette.
Yeah. Hi, Bernie. You're right. Bernie, Fozzy's not here. No, this is my good friend G. He's an Arsenal fan. He's going to give a different perspective. Fozzy's not here. We've kicked him out.
I think Fozzy's going to do a show later on. Like today, me and Nalante ain't doing a show in like a good number of weeks. We've been to a parade. We've actually met each other in that time. I mean, he still ain't done the show, a lot been going on and stuff. But good to be back.
No, that's cool. All right, I guess what should we delve in? And G, you could have your opinion about this. I'm just going to point out, before we do that, JK, Bernie's comment.
Oh,
yeah.
She knows.
Yeah, don't worry about it. Listen, there you go. One for you, G. It's a high. She's a real one, Lady B.
Yeah, she's got good football knowledge as well.
Yeah.
Comes on the shows with this guy sometimes.
So that's a high for you, G. You're what?
Nice, thank you.
All right, shall we? All right, let's start the cut off on the room. And you know what? I'm going to be honest. I mean, everyone else can talk about him, but for JK, I know you got a few things as well. I mean, this is the last time I'm going to mention him because I'm getting tired of this scenario, and I think we know who, guys. Florian Wirtz. So I'm just going to present something. So just bear me 2 seconds. Just give me 2 seconds. I'm just going to show something. All right. Can everyone see?
Yeah, perfect, man. Perfect.
Yep.
Yeah, cool. All right, so we're just going to go through. So this is the latest. This is from the Daily Mail. Liverpool was here to make a final offer for Florian Wirtz after Bayern Leverkusen rejected the 130 million offer for the man, and the Iowa 2-3 says they will seal the deal for the number one target. Now, obviously, if you read the article, I'll go down a bit. They're still holding out for a bit more. Leverkusen, they're being a little bit cheeky for me in a bit, but I mean, personally, obviously the reports say some more stuff, and I'll just read some of the stuff, and then JK and then G, you both can have your opinions on it. Like for me personally, this is going to be the last time I'm going to mention the W word because after tomorrow, everyone else can do it. I'm not mentioning him until there's confirmation either way. But as it says, on Friday, Liverpool tabled an offer to Bayern Leverkusen for Florian Wirtz for 130 mil, which was a base 100 mil, with the rest coming in add-ons. That was rejected as the German club are asking for 126 mil, though the Reds are unprepared to go quite that far, which I agreed. Sources in Germany say Leverkusen are now ready for what will likely be a final offer written off from Liverpool that could total 180 million when factoring bonuses and add-ons. At this stage, clubs are discussing the details of the deal in terms of bonuses, and Leverkusen are said to want an increase in add-ons, whether achievable or not. So we'll just leave it at that point, and there's more stuff obviously about it. And let's just start. I mean, JK, I mean, what's your opinion about this whole deal in terms of the whole Leverkusen saga?
Like for me, I'm pretty old school in that way. Until he's wearing the shirt sort of philosophy. When he's got the shirt in his hand and he's in Liverpool at the training ground and stuff, having a picture official by Liverpool Football Club on Twitter or whatever, then I'll start putting him in formations. You know, a lot of guys are putting this guy in formations in the team. I'm not even signed him yet. You know, but transfers always take a while, and this one's a big signing. This isn't just like a free transfer or a quick 20-30 million sort of deal like Kelleher. You know, bang, it was done, 18 million, job done. This one's a big one. You know, and you know Liverpool love their add-ons. Sort of scatter the cost of it. I don't really like that. The add-ons for me, yeah, have one or two, but I wouldn't go like you have to have this number of appearances in a season or this, that, and the other. Because then for me, we've seen it with Darwin. He had clauses in his contract where if we played or started a few more Premier League games, we'd have to sort of ship out a bit more.
No, fair enough. No, fair enough, JK. G, as a neutral, what's your feelings about the whole work situation for Liverpool and your opinion about the player himself?
I think as a neutral, looking historically, I have a few reservations, as I was saying to you. He's not Premiership proven. Obviously, he will be a solid signing. I don't think there's any doubt there in the quality of the player. But given he's a German player, my worry is how come the big boys in Germany, Bayern Munich, haven't really shown too much of an interest. And I think the player's valuation with the add-ons, Bayern Leverkusen now, the worst thing that could have happened for Liverpool, it was a catch-22 with the Trent situation where they've received an extra 10 million. Everyone kind of knows this. So I think Bayer Leverkusen are probably using that to squeeze the money out of Liverpool. I think at the moment, Liverpool are in a lose-lose situation because if by any stretch of the imagination, this deal for some reason or another falls through, it stinks of previous deals like Caicedo, which didn't happen, even though we all thought it was going to happen. So is he a good signing? Absolutely. Is he worth the kind of money being banded about, given that he's not really Premiership proven? In my humble opinion, no. And I do agree with JK that this add-on business, even as a player mentality point of view, if I'm a player and you're basically putting a lot of stipulations based on add-ons, I'm thinking, well, why are you doing that? Do you not have any faith that I'm going to meet the targets that you set me? Is it a financial fair play thing? And we don't know the ins and outs of whether this is going to be paid off in installments. If so, then that kind of makes sense to structure of it. But I think Liverpool can't afford not to get this one over the line. So, me personally, given that Liverpool haven't spent huge amounts, you know, the ownership needs to put their hand in their pocket and give the extra 10 million if that's what it takes. But I can understand also them standing their ground in the negotiations, showing that, look, we're not just going to accept any old, you know, kind of pushback from you. As you said, I think the club also needs to have Nathan's stance on, look, we've said what we've said, we've offered what we've offered, you know, and see. But it's a case of, are they going to be happy if then one of the other big boys do come in and pay that money? Are they happy to look at option B? Or is it a case of, as me personally, as a neutral, just pay the extra and get it over the line, and then that sets a tone of, you know what, we're building now. We're looking to retain this title. We're not happy with, you know, this season's achievements. We're looking now to build on that. That's my 2 cents.
Yeah. For me, I'm in the same sort of thingy now where We're the only guys really going in for him. Just get it wrapped up in the next few days. Pay the extra 5 or whatever million it is. It'll be embarrassing if they don't get it over the line for me. Hence why I don't understand the hype about it. Always hype about a player when he's signed. Then you can start dancing about it, you know. So there's still a lot of haggling. And I always said this, like Bayer Leverkusen have been sort of separated. Alonso's gone. Tar's on his way to Munich. Wirtz is their best player. And Germany's probably best player as well, him and Musiala. So they want the best fee for him. Hence why they're still haggling.
Yeah. I think, to be fair, touching back on that, this whole kind of will he, won't he, oh, it's agreed, let's go bomber, Fabrizio's nonsense that he does. I think, again, we've already had the president set by, us trying to sign, I'm forgetting his name now, from Sociedad. Someone help me out here.
Zubimendi, yeah?
Yeah, Zubimendi. So now again, U-turns, his head's been turned. So Liverpool can't really afford to go down that route, as far as I'm concerned. I think Liverpool have always been a club that's been straight about their business. Caicedo was a big, embarrassment in years gone by that I can remember that Liverpool suffered. So if I was the ownership, and I think as fans as well, you guys deserve that. It's a deal that needs to just come over the line now. He's a good player. We know he'll fit in this slot plan. We know he'll improve your team immensely. Just get it done. Otherwise, if we start then going down the Zubimendi route, then that's not going to be a good look for Liverpool, especially as they're trying to show that, they're going to backdrop and build on the success they've had this season.
Yeah, but for me, when the news comes out, we're after this guy supposedly, what it is, you get this good feeling. You're like, no, we're not. Because when Caicedo news broke last season, I straight away knew within 1 second, we're not after this guy and we're not going to get this guy. 100%. And there's people dancing. Oh, we're after Caicedo. And I was like, no, we're not. And we never got him anyway. And same as Bellingham, same as Zubimendi. Never ever thought, but this Wirtz one, I've got this feeling we're going to get this guy. If you understand what, the Liverpool way. We're not we're not a team that buys every window. We've had at the last 5, we spent once in them last 5 windows. So that tells you everything,
Well, don't forget, that was only because they sold Coutinho for good money. That basically bought them Alisson and Van Dijk to then take them to the level of winning Champions Leagues and leagues. So as you said, you're long overdue a cash injection, if you want to call it that.
Big time.
But yeah, again, sadly, Zubimendi, Caicedo, so the ownership needs to step up now.
Ball game, this one, bro, because
the metrics fit.
It's gone too far, and also the feeling. You get this feeling as a fan, if you've been in football a long time, of what's right.
I think it'll be done. I think they'll meet in the middle.
Yeah.
But I'm saying to Nathan, the only thing I was saying is, and this is not just for Liverpool as a, neutral fan, rival fan. There's no one out there at the moment this early on in the transfer window. You guys, Wirtz is a very good signing, very good player, and obviously he would be amazing, but he's not a player that's going to, get me out of my seat personally. So I was saying to Nathan that we seem to have lost that era of star players being signed by Premiership clubs. I think Van Dijk was probably that player that I thought, wow, okay, they've got a worldie here. At the moment, looking around the Premier League, Man City, Arsenal, Man United, even with Mbeumo, everyone is signing reliable, safe, solid signings, but no one's really going for that superstar signing. I think I was saying to Nathan that Kvaratskhelia was that guy, but no one, unfortunately, he would have been such an amazing fit for Liverpool, yet none of the big 4 went in for him, which makes no sense to me. But
but for me, Wirtz is that top level. He's top level sort of.
Oh, he is.
He's top level. Like he's better than Havertz. Like for me.
100%. That ain't saying a lot, buddy. That ain't saying a lot that he's better than Havertz. I think he is up there, as you said, with a Muslera, with a Lamine Yamal, etc. He's up there.
But saying that, I don't know if you agree, Nalante, about if you had the choice between Musiala and Wirtz, say about a year ago, I was like Musiala. For me, I reckon he's like top player.
Yeah. Yeah, I like Musiala. He's cold. He's a ball. He's cold.
He's a player, man.
He's cold. Yeah.
Consistency. I think with him, it's consistency. He has patches, but he doesn't seem to have that's why I said the metrics. If I'm looking at it from a very regimented German, Dutch kind of analysis, the metrics of words fit this Liverpool team and this slot system perfectly.
No, it's true. No, it's
But,
true. Yeah.
as I said, I think it would be nice, to see the Premiership teams signing that star player as well. It may still come later on in the window. There's talk of Arsenal and Rodrigo. He's not a star, but certainly he's a player that you think you'd sit up and take notice. I think Wirtz is that player. But, yeah, there's been no signings that have excited me as a fan at the moment so far. That may change later on in the window. Who knows? But, yeah, I think Liverpool will get it done. I think they'll meet them halfway and both clubs will have to compromise.
No, agreed. What I'll do is I'll just go through some of the comments and then JK can mention the next thing. I mean, yeah, with Wirtz, again, for me, it's just simple. Like, I'm not, again, and I'll repeat this, after tomorrow, I'm not mentioning him. Other people want to mention him for any other people channels. I'm tired. I'm getting a bit tired.
Yeah.
So I just want to, when he's done, I'll talk about him. But now it's just this in and out. And yeah, so I'm just not going to say anything, but I'll just go on, JK. Go on.
I think because Germany had 2 games this week, and that sort of slowed the transfer. Like if he was free on holiday now, that probably done last week, probably Tuesday or something like that. I think because of the 2 international games, it was sort of. Maybe they said we don't want you distracted in that, but Germany lost both of them games anyway. That's a bit poor.
I think that doesn't come into it though, because we had that with the Welbeck signing at Arsenal, where people are like, "Oh yeah, you're done. He's on international duty. There's no more signings," and signings did happen. I think the player hasn't come out and said anything, so it's probably the clubs that are just agreeing it. So the player, I'm sure, has chosen Liverpool, or there's a dark horse that may spring out from somewhere, like a Madrid or someone that might come in and blow Liverpool out of the water. But it seems to be that the valuations are there or thereabouts. The players already agreed terms with Liverpool, so I can't see too much going wrong. But as I said, we've been here before.
You're praying. As an Arsenal fan, G, like for me, imagine Arsenal were getting worse. I would be really happy now, because I know his quality. I'd be like, back in the days, you'd be like, oh, they've got a good player there. But now it's like the fan bases are like, oh, Man City got Haaland. You're like a bit pissed off that we didn't get him or whatever. I think City.
I think Kvaratskhelia was that player. For me, Kvaratskhelia was that player. I think Wirtz is a very good player. Personally, I don't think he'd thrive under Arteta anyway, so I think he's better off with a manager like Slot that will utilise him to his abilities. But for me, a player that I'll be like, wow, we are onto something here. And again, I said to Nathan, there's always 50-50 with those type of players. He's worked out at PSG, obviously, is Kvaratskhelia, where he's a something out of nothing player. But I think Wirtz is a very good player. Don't get me wrong, I do rate him highly. And I would be happy if we got him. But again, I think right now we're lacking that personality, that, player like an Alexis Sanchez or, someone that you're like wow.
A striker.
Well, yeah, obviously, I said to Liverpool, Nathan, that the one thing that I would be, and I'm sure a lot of other rival fans would be absolutely fearful of, is if you guys get Gyökeres, that's when everyone will stand up and say, wow, we did not see that coming. What a crazy signing. That would be a bombshell right there. This is kind of expected, even though he's a good player.
Yeah, but going back a month, bro, none of us thought this was going to happen. I didn't. I'm a Liverpool fan since a long time. I never in a million years thought Wirtz would be just round the corner signing for Liverpool, bro.
I think the championship helped. I think winning the championship helped. I think the
winning is
ownership,
marketing.
Yeah. The ownership obviously have to spend money. They know this because they haven't spent it. So I'm assuming talks were held with Slot at the time to say, look, chill out this season, do what you can, and for next season we'll open up the coffers, so to speak. This war chest that we as Arsenal fans keep hearing about but never get to see. apart from donkey signings. You guys seem to be spending an actual war chest with Kirkes, with Verts and some other smart signings that could happen. Yeah, Frimpong. So
Frimpong we got
all
cheap.
very good signings.
Frimpong we got for 29.
Yep.
I think
that's a very good price.
That's a good
Bargain
price
for him. Yeah.
God knows how they pull that one off. I think it must have been his contract, but it's about time we spent money. And I think that when you see our fan base, every club has a fan base where they're either for the owners or against the owners. You guys have got it. You had it for a long time, but in the last 3 years, you guys have spent nearly 700 million.
Yeah.
So you guys are spending now.
I think the owners are still a problem though for both clubs. Me personally, as a so-called hybrid era, fan, and I'm sure you'd have a lot of your fans that are old school fans before the Gillette takeover and stuff. I still think there are problems there. The thing is, though, as with any sport, when you're winning, those problems are must. But your fans, I think, and the hierarchy and the people involved in the club seem to still be keeping those traditions there in terms of, and the fans stand up to your owners in terms of the 70-minute protest for the ticket prices. So I don't think, your fans are in the mood to be messed around with as well. Hence why I think the ownership know we've got to spend the money. We can't, disappoint. Imagine if they didn't do this and just basically said, oh, well, Slots won it. We can go another year without winning it now. I think they know that, look, commercially it makes sense. And, from a fan perspective, to keep the fans happy, they need to, be showing ambition, essentially. Because every other club, big club, is, forget Arsenal for a minute, City, Chelsea, even United now are making some, decent signings. I wouldn't say spectacular, but certainly they're going to be in the running now, in terms of the top four, in terms of causing problems for title challenges. I think that is probably on the agenda. So, yeah, let's see. Going to be an interesting summer to see once the business is all done.
Sure. Oh, just run through the comments. Bonkers, good to see you, bro. Another bid rejected. No agreement. Yet Journal says medical next week with no agreement. That's what they're saying. Like, news is coming left, right, and centre. So
you can still do a medical with no agreement. A medical could be done for a player with no agreement in place, as far as I know. And it could be done by a third party. It doesn't need to be done by the clubs themselves.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean anything, really.
And then Edward tells us, I thought a fee had been agreed on Friday.
Nope.
No. Like for me, as I always say, I just go back to the official Liverpool Football Club social media pages or whatever. As soon as they say it's done, it's done. So for me, if we could have been agreed, couldn't have been like some journalists are going to say this happened. It's the world we live in. Social media, bro.
Yeah.
People, the guy probably woke up in the morning thinking, you know what, I'm going to write this on Twitter. Just for a fucking laugh, like lad. He was saying it. Remember that lad last week on 12s? Is it Kev? The one who kept on saying the work steals off and I bet he celebrated every day it's not done, but big up Kev anyway. And Edward says hello to this panel in chat. Bless up, Edward. Bonkers window closed 10th June. Get it done by then and reopened on the 16th. Yeah. And then Bernadette, another channel reported they had offered a third bid, but made the add-ons on really difficult to achieve. This is what I'm saying about add-ons. I'm not a great fan of them. I was saying earlier before I got a phone call that the Darwin situation, he didn't play the games at the end of the season. Why? I think if we played more games, we would have to pay his old team a little bit more money.
Yeah.
So for me, add-ons. For me, I would say add-ons. Just go with the goals and assist add-ons. Not appearance-wise. Yeah. Because at the end of the day, bro, this is a weird one. It's up to you if you agree or not. But imagine you're an owner of a football club and you won the league But your guy, Salah, for example,
Yeah.
plays for you and he's got 28 goals. And if you reach 30 goals, he gets a £5 million bonus.
Mhm.
Would you not? I'm just asking a question. Would you, as an owner, think, you know what? I wish you don't get them 2 goals because that's going to cost me 5 million. But we'll win them 2 last games. You don't really mean nothing. 6 points to put on our total at the end of the season.
Yeah.
But he's thinking in his head, oh, you know what? I'd rather save that 5 million. You understand what I mean? They're businessmen at the end of the day.
No, 100%, JK.
And they could have a word with Slot. We're not put Salah on the bench for the last 2 games. Say he's tired.
Mm-hmm.
Like we don't know, but that sort of bullshit could happen.
Mm-hmm.
Hence why I'm not a big fan of them sort of add-ons regarding appearances and stuff like that.
Yeah. 100% JK. Look, I just think it's got to the point where we've talked about him works enough, and Kirkers. Obviously we have to look and coincide that both deals are difficult in different way. Whether it works is a value high player, but now it's just look. Man City have come in and look, and again, bang bang. Altinori done, Reinders done, medicals. And this is the thing, Shirky near there or thereabouts. So, I mean, for me, it's just the key. And I just want for us to just kind of put our foot down and just look. It is what it is. Look, and again, we're going to pay this month already because Leverkusen have been a little bit cheeky, if I'm honest. But it gets to the point, do you want him or you will not? But with every transfer saga, as soon if the player wants to come to you, then it's easy. Then that's the easy part because the club will just
that's the main part.
Yeah, that's the main thing because the club will just be making it even worse by delaying things. But we'll see. But like I said, we just need to kind of just seal this because Man City have just come in, bang bang, they've got the signings, and when we were kind of ahead of them, and again, it doesn't mean they're better than us. It's just that we've just kind of projected it a bit longer than expected, and we should be seeing these deals, wrapping them up quick and moving on to whatever targets. So yeah.
All right, Brian. I hope you're cool, man.
Yeah. Afternoon, Brian.
Yeah, good. Right. Yeah.
Afternoon.
Cheers for the invite.
No worries, bro. And there's your comment there. Bayern tried to buy him, and he rejected him. G.
Yeah.
He's not. I think G must have got disconnected.
Yeah, got disconnected.
For me, that was the major part of why I think we're going to get this guy. Because for me, the only danger it weren't Man City. For me, it was Bayern Munich. As a German lad, you're always sort of designated to end up there somehow. Even if you supported Stuttgart or Borussia Dortmund, even as your dad did, and you're playing football and you grow up, and then Bayern Munich want you, and you end up at Bayern Munich, bro. So for me, they were the biggest sort of threat to this sort of deal. I always thought Wirtz would end up at Bayern Munich. I just had this funny feeling my whole time. I was thinking that's why I never ever said, "Oh, let's go after Wirtz." We've never said it. None of us have.
Because we didn't think the possibility would him being there potentially. Not saying that it can't, but if we're honest, I mean Bayern and the City were ahead because City have been looking at him for a long time. I know we heard Edwards has been scouting him, but City were more ahead. They've been planning him because KDB is on his last legs and everything was going towards City. Wirtz, he's their guy. Wirtz, he's a man to take over KDB, and we know, and as we know, Bayern are buying, isn't it? So, but this is like a little bit surprisingly, but it's a good perspectively surprise. And again, you're given the fact of the amount that we've won the league, so kind of helps a bit, put a rubber stamp on the situation. So,
I think if we finish third, fourth, this Wirtz deal probably wouldn't happen. My opinion, bro. Because we won this league last season, that gave us 80% of our pull this summer. I don't know if you guys agree, Brian and Anthony. Winning is pulling power, and it's free. It's free. That's the bonus you get with winning, and that's why I say when you dominate, every player will come to you. Yep.
100%.
Then should we just read the comments as well? You can.
Yeah, we'll go through the comments. Yeah, we'll go through the comments. Edward says, just put the proper bid in. Well, looks like that's happening. To that. The Lady of Leisure, the Lady of Rose, Lady B, says they all have a very unhappy play if Leveson blocked the move. He's supposed to be coming for a medical next week. Yeah, let's see. I mean, I think next week we'll have. I don't know. JK and Irishman will have clarity either way. I think next week. I don't know if you guys agree on that.
Brian,
What?
you can take
What?
No, the word still, Brian. Just clarity next week either way.
No, I'm starting to get a bit worried now because your guest there was putting out some very, very convincing arguments about this Wirtz lad. He's not all that, is he? He couldn't even get in an Arsenal team. Couldn't even get in the Arsenal squad. They wouldn't even be able to use him. So I'm starting to get a bit worried here. This lad is all we think he's cracked up to be. Some lovely, what the kids would call copium, I think there. We just signed. We're about to sign. We're in the process of signing probably one of the most sought after creative players on the planet. If he couldn't work under Mikel Arteta, as I said there, I think that might be an Arteta problem, not a Wirtz problem. He would enhance any team on world football. Did Bayern? They wanted him. Man City wanted him. He rejected both of them because, for whatever reason, whatever it was about us, he's decided he wants to join us. He sees his future here. He's agreed a wage package. He's agreed all that stuff. All that's done in the background. So it's just us. See, the problem is, like JK is saying there, I wouldn't agree. The add-ons thing, I think, is, and I'm not going to talk about Mr. Nunes, but add-ons are fine. Usually, like, if you have to pay all your add-ons, that means your club has been successful. If it's trophies, it's like, oh no, we have to pay 5 million. Why? Because we won a Champions League. Normally, they're good things, and I don't mind that. But you've got a 24-hour news cycle now, and there isn't enough news to fill a half an hour when there is no news. And these guys are going 24 hours, so you have to have updates. And as JK pointed out, they've been playing a semi-final and a third-place playoff all this week. That's why this guy isn't in Liverpool.
That's my opinion.
These away. He said, let him do his thing with Germany. We won't distract him. Let him go and do his thing there. And when he comes back, and that's all over. That's all over now. That game is finished. So as of tomorrow, yeah, it's just little bits and pieces. But yeah, it's coming down to it. Like I said, some last night. Look, it is just ironing out the details. But let's just get it wrapped up. Let's just get it wrapped up now. Let's get this done in a couple of days. Not another week, But let's just wrap it up. I'm fully confident we will. But because the more we don't, then the more people get to talk. And like JK said, you just want to wake up tomorrow. You just see that picture on the Liverpool site. There he is, standing there with Arne Slot or a pen in hand or whatever it might be, and just move on from there because it's too much talk now. Seen reports as well. He's going to be on big money, 22 million a year. They're talking about, which works out around 400 grand a week. It's a hell of a wage.
That's a good wage. That's a crazy wage. Trent's wage probably covers that. Most of it, whatever we're going to offer Trent. No, take on.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I was just saying, I think it'll be less than that, if I'm honest. But we'll see.
I think
we'll see once everything. Yeah, I think it's going to be on 400k. But we'll find.
No,
it
sounds like
anyway.
350. It sounds like they're trying to. It's around the 350 mark, which would make sense if you're buying a player for that kind of money. They're not going to be 100 grand a week player. I've always said that. Yeah. The more a player costs, the more their wages
are higher. Yeah.
Yeah, you don't get a Neymar and then give him 50 grand a week. So he's going to be. I'd imagine he's going to be one of our top earners. He's probably going to be up there with Mo, but 350, something like that.
Yeah. But I think the Trent wage to be probably offered him for him to stay was probably around that figure anyway. And
yeah.
So, but Frimpong's come in and he's probably on about, I don't know, I'm just guessing now, probably 225 or something like that, maybe. 200.
Or less, maybe 180. I think it'd be 100.
180.
Yeah, about
That's
that.
just a guess from me. I'm just
Yeah.
like trying to figure it out, and that it's like he costs 29 million. So if you're gonna go with his wages, he's on a $5 a week. You know what I mean?
I'd say closer to the 100 than the 2, but again, I don't know.
Yeah. So we're just sort of guessing. But for me, Wirtz will be on a good whack. And
Huge money.
yeah.
Yeah, no, 100%.
But you know Bayern, JK. Bayern probably would offer them 400. Bayern
Yeah,
pay
big time.
huge money.
I ain't no fuck around when it comes to wages.
Yeah, they offer big money. So
I think Sane, they want him to go. Koeman maybe. So that's wages they could have saved to give it to him. That's what clubs do when they get rid of players or players leave. They save wages, and what they can do because they use them wages on the next guy. So they got to balance it out in that way. Yeah. But for me, I just think it's that they had international duty. It was just timing wise, it was a bit bad. Okay, England played World Cup qualifier yesterday and stuff, but I think timing wise to get the Wirtz deal wrapped up, Germany 2 games in Germany, it was a bit sort of weird. But I think maybe Tuesday, something like that. Maybe I said last Tuesday, but hey.
No, 100%. 100% JK. All right, we'll read some of these chats out. We'll go to the next phrase. Edward says there was loads of news on Friday that they'd agreed the fee, but the news today contradicts it. But that's what all relevant articles, news agents, sites do anyway, Edward, as you know. Big up yourself, Edward. Hope you're well.
Hope you're cool, Edward.
Yeah, and that's a high for the lady.
But it's true what you said. It's true what you says because for me, it's like a soap opera. I call transfers soap operas nowadays. Like as soon as the season's finished, actually, the season's not even finished yet. They're telling you where managers are going to be next season and players. They're still scoring and managing teams, and that's the level we're at right now. Back in the days, you would never hear in the newspapers in England. This guy's going here, this guy's going here, and there's like 6 weeks left of the season, bro. It's changed now. Why? Because people got the chance to do it by picking up their phone, the computer, or whatever, and getting news out there that might not even be true, bro. It's poor for me. I don't like it myself. Not a big fan of it.
No, 100%, JK. I definitely agree with you. Big up yourself, Ravi. Hope you're well, bro. Bless up.
Ravi.
Bless up to Ravi there. Ravi, he says, we have to get the deal. Don't stop talking. We just have to get the deal. Don't stop talking. If the deal doesn't happen, the fallout won't be pretty. Agreed.
But I think this one is totally different to the Casado one for me.
Yeah.
100%. Just get that good feeling. When you're a Liverpool fan for a long time, you just realise it.
Yeah.
You gone, Brian?
No, it's a totally different scenario. Completely different. We were bursting into the room just he's about to sign for Chelsea. I mean, the deal was done for him to go to Chelsea, and we last second phone call. Yeah, like we it's the opposite. We're Chelsea in this scenario. We're there, everything is sorted, and it's just about getting it done. Yeah, it really annoyed me when people brought up Caicedo as a comparison because it's totally different.
100%.
Totally different. Yeah,
nothing to do with it. We were made fools out of, and Chelsea already agreed a long time ago, and so I don't know why the club put the money in when he knew he was going there. That was just stupidity. Don't know who told them what to do that, but anyway, we move past there. Well, gravy, lazy gravy, and I'll actually get on to certain comments from Bryce's show last night. Actually, get back to that to bring it up, but very interesting. Very interesting. So Lady B says it seems that the balance between 113 million and 140, that is the stumbling block or the structure of the payments. Yeah, more or less. Okay, Brian, one for my boy Negative G. Says about the coach or the player. I agreed. And yeah, if you can, guys, like, share, and subscribe. Build a channel, we're communities, Fozzy, you know, Anfield Irishman as well, Liverpool 12th man, Rod, so many. There's quite a few good creative commentators. So big up. And 90, big up yourself. I haven't seen you in the comment section, but if you have, apologies, but big yourself up. And
Bless up, good to see you.
It's good to see you, man. Bernie says, our fans will turn if drags on and they will lose interest. Yeah, facts. Thank you very much, Bernie. God bless you all the time, every time. Ravi's just had enough. He's just like, you know, he's
saying what we're thinking.
Yeah, exactly. Frimpong is delighted to play for us. He had all his family at the AXA on his signing day. Yeah, it's true. And I've got Frimpong, he's got a bit of Ghanaian roots there. So even though I wasn't 100% with it, I'll you know what?
I remember.
Yeah, I forgot. So I might have to lay the Jeremy slides.
But for me, Frimpong's enthusiasm in his press conference, his medical, he's done loads of videos. Bro, I've never seen a player that enthusiastic to play for Liverpool, bro. It's amazing. It's like, wow.
Yeah.
Great to see. You know, you want to hear that, like when you get a sign in. Not a lot of these guys say this, what he said, bro. If you listen to his interviews, he's like, yeah, man. You know, I'm playing for Liverpool. He's like, fucking hell. I was like, yo, great attitude to have as a footballer for me.
100%, JK. Trudon, yeah, I echo that. I am getting a bit same as you, so don't worry about that. Big up from Edwards and 90, seeing Uncle channels last night. Uncle Rods, big up himself, Uncle Rods.
Yeah, big up Uncle Rods.
Big up. Bonkers says, yeah, B saw the training day. Okay, Frimpong, that's fine. And Trudon says, NBA coaches, boy. I don't know if the club staff are ready for NBA young boy. I mean, I don't like him, but I hear that, Trudon. I hear what you're saying. No, I'm not. Hey, listen, Lady B, Lady of Leisure, Lady of the Courvoisier. No, I'm not. I remember because he's just Frimpong is a major Ghanaian name. It's like one of the main surnames. So I know, and obviously his parents, seen his parents, family, Ghanaian, you know, the Ghanaian. So no. I've just got it how it is. Big up everyone. Bernie. All right, guys, I'm just gonna bring something up again. Again, it's one of our ever presents. He's been a great signing for us. And then JK, I know JK, you had something you wanted to bring up as well. And then I'm going to ask you and Brian some questions. So just bear me again. Mm-hmm. All right. So this is about our great goalkeeper, world-class goalkeeper, Alisson. Obviously, there's been rumours, about his future. Obviously, there's the option of the 12-month contract, and obviously there's a lot. And I'll just read some of the stuff on here about Ali. So I'll just go through some of the stuff that Ali's saying. Obviously, Ali, he's been a great servant to us, and he's continuing to do big things. So. As you can see there, he says, personally, I've never been able to plan for long term. And obviously, he just goes on about the contract. Obviously, he's got a year left. And obviously, he's committed to doing those, if the contract, which I don't know if JK and Brian, you can agree that will get extended. The contract.
For me, it's like he'll play next season, and what did I say?
So that's fine. So I was just going to read some just brief points, and obviously, Mama, he's there, and obviously, I remember last season, Alisson said he tends to basically just be loyal to his contract regarding everything that's gone on. And then obviously there's some bits here saying that that's what he's planned with the club itself.
Mm-hmm.
So he's willing to come there. All right, so Brian and JK, let me ask you this then about Alisson. Well, he's near enough going to stay near enough for a year or 2 years. If Alisson continues his form in the next 2 to 3 years, would you keep him on? Would you extend him on, or would it be the next 2 years for you? Let's just say Alisson keeps his form. Would you just make it about Mama? Oops! Oh shoot!
Brian, you can go if you want. Yeah, go on.
2 more years. Yeah. I don't know, Nalante. I don't know, because I could imagine, well, he'd be 34-ish then. Still have time. Yeah, it's hard to know. It is hard to know. I think long-term strategy would suggest no, but yeah, I guess no. I reckon over the next couple of years you get a few more injuries, a couple more hamstrings, and so maybe in 2 years' time he might not be at that peak. But like you said, if he did continue to play like this, yeah, I'd probably give him another extension then. Top of that, yeah, keep him here for another 3 years. If he plays that well this year, like obviously they'll take up that option to extend, and then maybe just put another year on it. I don't know.
I will say this: we'll have this season. That we'll probably do that one where he'll play another season, and I think he'll go to Brazil and play for Inter or something, some team like that. He was saying. So for me, that's how I see it. He's got 2 years. How old, do you guys know how old he will be then, off your head?
I think he's 32 now.
So about 34-ish, 35-ish. Like for me, he could probably play for another 4 or 5 seasons in England. 4 seasons at least. You know what I mean? When you've got quality like him. But for me, it's all about his mindset. Where does he want to be himself? He's been at, as his first sentence was, I can't really plan for the future. That probably pisses him off sometimes. You know what I mean? I think every human likes to plan sometimes. You know what I mean?
I think what he's saying is, he said, I've never personally been someone that plans long term. I think that's what he was saying. He's not someone that does that. He's saying personally, I've never been able to plan for the future. He's kind of saying, I've never been one of those people that does, in 5 years' time, I'm going to be here. In 10 years' time, I'm going to be there. I don't think he's saying he's been prevented from planning. I think he's saying he's the kind of person that doesn't plan long term.
Oh, I thought it was like he's getting prevented. Okay.
No.
Well, he wants to go to Brazil in the long run. That's how I see it. So whenever it is, it happens.
Yeah, we just signed that young. I mean, everyone, Jesus Christ, they're losing their brains over him. Sorry for taking the Lord's name in vain. But I mean, all over Twitter this morning. It's, we've signed an Ali Regen. What is this kid? He's incredible. You know, this Pepsi. Come on, please, just calm down. Calm down, folks. Calm down.
Yeah.
Great.
You know, he's not even put on a pair of gloves for the club yet, and people are putting together this kind of stuff. Talk about pressure, you know. But he's now 14, like, because Yaros, it looks like Yaros is going to go to Ajax. And
yeah,
he wants to play first team football. I knew he was leaving anyway, but going with Heitinga to play first team for Ajax. And the word that I heard from was David Lynch. He was saying, like, we just gave Harvey Davies a new contract, so like the 3 now will be with Keller leaving, it'll be Alisson, Mama, and then Harvey Davies. Not this Pexi guy. He's going to be 4 choice. So he could even go out on loan maybe or something. So
Joe Pesci.
Joe Pesci.
Joe Pesci. Yeah, talking to me. Oh, Arnold.
What's so funny about this? What country is he from, this guy? The new goalie?
He's Hungarian.
Yeah, Hungary. Okay. So Bob had a word.
Well, I was in Hungary for 1 day, 3 hours a few weeks ago.
No
It was
private jet
me.
for
I
you,
sorted
though.
out. All right, I don't tell no one.
Yeah,
No private jet for you, though.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. It's
Had to
all
walk.
standard class.
I had to walk, bro.
So is this what you would do, Brian? You would make Ali captain?
No, Frimpong. I was just joking with Bernie.
Oh, you're just joking with Bernie. Oh, okay. All right. No joking
But
with me.
like, who would you put as vice captain now? That's a good question, though. For me, Alisson. Why not? Alisson, Salah, one of the two.
Yeah,
One of the two.
yeah, I think that's right. Or
But
you could,
maybe just
or you could go over. You could pass them because I mean, what would Ali and Salah potentially be in 2 years' time, and maybe a Mac?
Michael Gravenberch for one of the two. Imagine a
Maybe,
Gravenberch
yeah, maybe,
might open his game a bit as well.
yeah,
You know?
yeah,
I don't
yeah.
know. Interesting.
I'd give it to Mac, but I think they'll give it to Mo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's the face of the club, Mo. Come on.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
And he's going
Yeah.
to play. I was going you could have a Robbo, but if Robbo was spending
He'd be benched.
most of his time on the bench, then
Yeah. That's how I
not
see
that
it as
it's
well,
that
bro.
important. Yeah, it's not the end of the world kind of. It's more of a kind of a thing for the player, isn't it? But like I think McAllister will be like in the middle of the pitch, got that fiery attitude.
Right.
He's captained Brighton. He's captained Argentina, I think even. So yeah, but I can see Salah getting. I wouldn't be mad about Salah as a vice captain either. You know, I just kind of. I'm a bit more old school. I like kind of either centre halves or centre mids to be doing that role. Just let Salah be kind of the goal scorer and do his thing.
I think what it is, we live in this society, Brian, back in the day, even in the 90s, that sometimes the captain just goes to the players, just the star player with his striker, midfield, etc., regardless of his captain
Credentials.
responsibilities. Just he's our star player. Just slap the armband on him.
Yeah.
Hey presto. But there you go.
Let the people in the chat let us know who you put as vice captain for next season.
Yeah, let us know.
Who'd you go with, Brian? Mo, yeah?
No, I'd go with Mac, but I think they're going to give it to Mo.
Okay, so you go with Mac now as your choice, yeah?
Yeah.
Nalante, who would you go with?
Well, just before I answer that, JK, one player that used to play here said it means more. My ambition is to be a captain for this football club. Interesting how that means will turned out. I agree with Brad completely. Yeah, I think just give it to Mac in terms of the future of the club. But yeah, I think he'll be mine. I think he'd be.
I'd give it to Mo for me. Deserves it. Should be captain when Virgil's having a rest or can't play or whatever. Salah, man, for me, that'll give him a little boost for next season as well. You know what I mean? That's how I see that one. So I'd give it Salah. But in the long run, I wouldn't mind seeing Gravenberch. I don't think Gravenberch is loud enough on the pitch sometimes. I don't know if you guys really notice that in football. Like, who's the loud guy in the midfield out of the three? Mac, probably.
You never notice Grav on the pitch. And I think it's a good thing, Jake. I mean, especially for the role he plays.
Yeah.
You never see him going around, quote unquote, flying into tackles, geeing people up. He really plays in an understated, quiet way. So I don't think he's got that captain's voice yet.
Yeah.
But you look at like McAllister, every time you look back at the screen, McAllister is getting involved in a tackle or being fouled or something. He's always kind of in the middle of it. Gravy, it's just, I know I've always meant it as a compliment. Sometimes you don't even notice he's on the pitch. And he's one of the best players on the pitch. He just quietly goes about his business. But you don't see him getting into scraps or running around chasing people. It's very rare.
He did it his own way, Gravenberch, if you understand what I mean. He's different to a lot. I've never really seen a midfielder like Gravenberch. It's a weird one. He's got skills. And I reckon he had a good end to the season compared to, he went through a little rough patch that week. You got the Paris game and that, he weren't great. Come on. We all said, you know. But I think the last games of the season, he sort of stepped back up. He had that rest after at the international. He came home in the international break, the last one of the season. And then what happened? He sort of found his feet again and he looked better. So that was good to see. And he was advancing with the ball more as well. That's what I've noticed about his games at the end of the season. He was getting the ball and he weren't just passing. He was getting the ball and running forward with it. I love to see that in players, man, from midfield, you know?
That's true. But again, Brian, as you know, on your channel yesterday, these Dutch players are lazy. We've heard lazy gravy and we've heard lazy VVD.
Who said that? What?
Yeah, JK, you missed it.
No.
Lazy VVD.
Oh, he said that, man.
We had a couple of new, like, you know, as I say, it's an open call then.
Mm-hmm.
He had a bit of a weirdo the night before, but he was only on for half a second. We had two new callers yesterday, Carl from Toronto.
Oh, bless.
And Zia from
yeah.
Chelmsford. Carl's not a big. Carl thinks VVD is genuine lazy gravy.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. He's good, but he's lazy still.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's conserving energy, isn't he?
He's okay.
Well, I'll tell you what, I've heard it all, ladies and gentlemen. Lazy gravy, lazy VVD,
Wow.
words.
I thought it was K-Max said it.
No.
You know what I mean? Okay.
Deep. This is.
I think Virgil van Dijk is the player he is because of the art he plays football and the way he conserves energy, and he don't really go running around like a headless chicken, and he sort of saves his energy. That's why he's so good, because of his mindset. And I think he isn't lazy. He's just, what do I say? I don't want to say laid back. He's a laid back sharp guy, if you understand what I mean. He's sharp, but he's laid back with it. And I think that's the best way to do it. Because if you're bullish and sharp, you're wasting a lot of energy, in my opinion. So he's doing it the smooth operator way. Sade. I'm going to call Virgil Sade from now on.
That's what I was saying about Grav. Like, you don't see Grav running around like a headless chicken.
Yeah.
He's got that same kind of thing about him. This is the way they play the game.
Yeah.
Like Virgil's one of those guys where he's probably thinking, if I'm having a run and sprint and this and that, then I've got it all wrong. Like, he'll know it's about positioning and about timing for him. If he's having to run and chase and run, he'll be doing something wrong. You know, the reason he isn't chasing, doing like sprints all over the place, because he's in the right position 99% of the time. There's no reason for it. Mm-hmm. So, but Carl was having none of it now, was he? Was having none of it yesterday.
No.
It's all about energy saving because of the positions they play in. Gravenberch and Virgil are they're the main parts of our defense to not let goals in, if you think about it. So they're thinking, you know what? I could be running like a madhead for 60 minutes, and then the 61st minute, I'm done. I can't handle the next 30. So for me, it's their mentality of playing it laid back style, but getting the job done that way. I think it's wise to do that. Sometimes people want to see a guy just jumping in and getting in there. I like that in a DM and a centre back sometimes, you know what I mean? But in the long run, more injuries. Think about that. Virgil's had one injury, really, since he's been with us. Because of the art he plays football in, bro. He could have done much more damage. Think about it, the guys he's been up against. Big centre forwards, top strikers. And Virgil thinks, I don't want these guys to embarrass me, so I'm going to put one in him. Virgil don't do that, bro. And that's why he's sort of being blessed by that Pickford nonsense with injuries because of the way he plays football. That's how I see it.
No, agreed. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100 100% agreed. But yeah, I mean, it's coming out. Lazy gravy, lazy VVD. What's this? I mean, it's a bit of a mad one. I mean, Dutch players are getting attacked. I'll tell you. So if I don't run, I might be lazy. When Messi didn't run, he was called lazy. When before in the peak, again, players have peaks and times, and sometimes you don't need to. There's all like Brian just summed it up nicely. Positional awareness.
True. Positional awareness. Yeah.
Can't run up and down like a headless chicken, can we? We've all been taught that in football. Some energy, but time doesn't beat no one. People say, Messi at favourite, he's lazy, but which is just dumbfounded. Again, it's understanding the game. He's not going to be the same as it was 25. 25, I saw Messi tracking back. He's a great player. He done more than Ronaldo, He's tracking back more than Ronaldo. Ronaldo in his peak didn't track. That's talking about Cristiano Ronaldo, not the real G Ronaldo, R9, the original Ronaldo. But he track back. Messi used to track back on the wing. I saw it, but you get older, he waits and he anticipates when to move and when to set the trap. He can do a little dribble, But hey, Brian, Jake, Drake. All I've got to say is we've got lazy players on our team. Lazy. I might as well just call the team Lazy Liverpool.
Like, bro, quickly, I'll say, why do you think the guys who play in the third non-conference leagues play in them leagues, bro? Maybe they're fast as Premier League players. Maybe they are, bro. Because what it is, their mindset isn't as good as the guys who play in the Premier League. And it's as simple as that. These guys can run, or maybe 90 minutes, get stuck in, this, that, and the other. But they ain't got the minds of like a Virgil van Dijk, who realises he's playing for the biggest team in England. He's got 4 cups to win. He's the captain, and he's thinking, okay, I could really put a good shift in for 6 months, 100%, bang, 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 and win games. And then the last 3 months of it, I'm going to be sort of 50%. Virgil's had a great season for me, I think when we won the league, they put the foot off the gas, and Virgil weren't really bothered. I wouldn't say bothered, but it weren't that as important, But for me, if you're going to last at the top for that long, you've got to have a mindset where you're not going to put yourself in danger of getting injured or getting fatigued. Simple. That's my thinking for Van Dijk. Why people might think he's lazy or whatever,
No, I agree with that. I agree with that, JK. JK, is there something else that you wanted to mention? In terms of...
No, I was going to just say about, are we going to do that, the Premier League stuff after this, where the best of the best on the thumbnail?
Oh, yes. You guys
in the chat
after that, and then after that, we'll freestyle.
Yeah.
Oh, what's that, bro?
What's the best of the best?
So basically, it's just a simplified way. So basically, obviously the team of the season has been done, your channel. So just simplify it, like best player of the season, best young player, best over the most underachievers this season, the overachievers, just little categories, but just one club or one name, just simplifying it like that.
Like bang, bang, yeah.
Yeah, that's all.
It'll be quick fire. We can start it off now, bro, if you want.
Yeah. Okay. What I'll do is I'll just mention some of the messages in the chat. Big up everyone that's liking or watching wherever you are. Big yourself up. This is a good channel. Real people in here. No clickbaiters, so to speak. But yeah. Anyway, I'll mention some of the chats, JK and then Bri, and then I'll mention the team. Lady B. Oh, Lady B, a woman. Obviously, you've got the fashion sense. I mean, was that from you, Lady B? Was it from Mr. Tyndall? Just saying. Don't shoot the messenger. Frimpong's family is very smart dressers. Oh, that's for bonkers. Okay, Brian mentioned the joke. Bernie says the two keepers could learn a lot from Ali. Agreed, very much indeed. Ravi says we have Frimpong and the keeper over the line. Liverpool wrap the deals up early so we can chill till next season. Yes, we all do. But yeah, I think we still got more signings to go, to be fair. Lady B says she'll give it to Mo in terms of the captain situation. Okay, me and Brian. Okay, Salah for me deserves it.
Bless his heart. Bless you.
Yeah, everyone's on the Mo train. I'll Robbo, then Mac for Dustin. Fair enough.
Nice to see you, yeah, Dustin.
Yeah, big up Dustin. Okay, that's the high. I don't know what that is. Right. Bernie says Verge has the fastest sprint of the club as tested by the club. He gets back in before strikers and controls the ball. That's the answer to the lazy VVD on last night's show. As Bernie was passionately.
That's Virgil's pickup line.
Yeah. Exactly, yeah. I'll catch you in a second. All right, you go ahead. I'll get to the car. Yeah. It's only 1 minute away, babe. And then she tells her, goes, oh, Fia, how did you get there? It's because I'm just a man.
No, I'm just the fastest in the league.
Yeah, exactly, innit?
In the team, sorry.
Yeah. Frimpong is going to blow that away next season, you assume. That's Irishman. Yeah, to be fair, I think so. Yeah, I can't think of anyone who can match him.
He's rapid.
Speed.
He's, I think they clocked, there's him and like one other player in Europe. The topped out, I think like 36k or something like that, which is crazy. 36 kilometers running.
Yeah,
36k.
That's mad.
And it's funny, Brian, because you did mention it. I remember previous, and it's true. But I don't think he's not him. But I get your sentimental in terms of play wise, a little bit. But I think he's faster than the Sean Wright Phillips. But I get your attachment to
Sean. Yeah. Oh, I was comparing Doak to Sean Wright Phillips.
Oh right, okay.
Yeah. But yeah.
Are you talking about
pace? Yeah, Wright Phillips was quick, yeah, but no, yeah. I think he was that lightning, I suppose. Yeah, quick little player as well.
No, fair enough, bro. So Lady B says he's controlling the game from his position. His style is to look as he doesn't have a out of place. Oh dear, big up Bernie. She's really passionate with this VVD, obviously. Now, Bernie, behave yourself. You hear? Mr. Tyndall won't be liking what you're saying in the comments, yeah? Me, Brian, and JK were witnesses. So much from you, Brian, to Bernie.
Yeah.
Oh, God, that was funny.
The new benchmark for being a centre half at Liverpool, apparently. You have to be
yeah, exactly.
You have to be a bit of a male model, or else you're not cutting the mustard.
Exactly, I tell you. Well, looks like I might have to join you on our camera section. But yeah, there you go. Ravi says Liverpool have to start thinking of transitioning a new centre back for VVD because VVD is not getting any younger. So we not panicking when a new guy takes that spot. Agreed, Ravi. We'll park that and we'll talk about that in a bit. Bernie says, "God, this well, know where your heart lies, Bernie." Well, at least you tell him to pull it out of your misery, so that's fine. Oh, hold on, give me a second. I think we've got G back. G, you there, bro?
Yeah, sorry guys, my phone completely decided to have a meltdown, just like our title challenge.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, that's all good. That's all good, bro. Yeah, man. Yeah. So, G, you spoke with him. Brian, do you remember my boy, Negative G?
Yeah, I think we were on a show together a long time ago.
Yeah. So, G, obviously, I'm not sure you remember when you were on the first time on Brian's show. That's the Anfield Irishman. So, yeah, he's joined the party anyway. G, can you hear me?
I mean, yep. No, I do
Yeah.
remember.
Okay, you do remember,
see-
yeah? Yeah, no problem. G, let me just let me just ask you your actually there's something from you from Lady B. G. You want you want to answer this, G?
I was a young man when that picture was taken. But unlike Odegaard, I'm not flicking snot through my hair. Thankfully, my hands are by my side.
Indeed. Yeah, G, we were just speaking about a few things, captains and stuff like that. I was just speaking before. No, we won't mention the captain situation, but we were just speaking about Allison. So basically, his obviously his contract finishes next year, but he said we've got an option to extend it to 2027, and obviously Allison has just said, he doesn't plan long term, but obviously he's happy at the club and he's looking to extend it. I mean, what's your thoughts as a neutral about Allison as a goalkeeper?
Well, obviously, I think Allison is one of the biggest reasons you guys achieved the success you did. Him and Van Dijk, as we mentioned earlier in the show, were the two, marquee signings that turned you from maybe on the peripheries to actually getting over the line. And, there's a lot of nights I can remember that Allison, earned his keep, to say the least. So, yeah, I mean, there's no denying he still is a world-class goalkeeper. I think obviously there are some times where you might forget that, but certainly he's a solid goalkeeper. And yeah, I think he's up there in terms of Premiership, probably top 5 goalkeepers at the moment, if not even historically. In terms of his captaincy, if we're discussing that, I'm not sure goalkeepers personally are the best captains because they themselves are not out on the field. But I don't want to do him a discredit either. He seems like a family man, good role model as well around the club. So, yeah, I think, captaincy wise, I always prefer an outfield player as a neutral, but I'm sure Liverpool fans will have no complaints about his conduct on and off the pitch and in terms of his performances as well.
No, that's fair enough. That's fair enough, G. And just another one, which again, boys we were discussing. Apparently, VVD has been called lazy VVD. Do you subscribe to that assessment of VVD is a bit lazy?
I don't think lazy. Certainly, I think people need to remember this guy's had a major injury. So to come back to the level he's now coming back to and has come back to season gone by is, beyond expectation, in my opinion, given the type of injury he had. And obviously he did struggle to adjust once he'd come back from that injury. So I think people need to realize that. People do forget that, that injury has finished many other player. And at some point, yes, a lot of people are on his case, Van Disney, this, that, and the other. But I think, again, Van Dijk in a system alongside someone competent is, on his day, top 10, defender in the Premiership within this era. I wouldn't say historically, but he is a winner. And if anything, I think looking at some of his traits, I see when he's communicating with players when he's upset that certain players haven't, made the run, etc. Slightly, I wouldn't call it laziness, but there is a kind of, and I don't want to label it cockiness as well, but maybe complacency a little bit in that he knows he has the ability. So he believes he's not going to get caught out by the opposition strikers, players, etc. So he does have that little arrogance about him, which has caught him out a couple of times. But in generally, there's not a lot of times where we can say that, oh, Van Dijk had a really tough afternoon, especially now that he seems to have not fully recovered, but got back to some semblance of consistent performance since that major injury he had.
Fair enough. So, in your opinion, G, you saying VVD is what top 10 in what the era?
I think top 10 in terms of if I'm looking at the Premiership right now, top 10, defenders I want in my back four, VVD's up there.
Okay, are you talking about now, or are you talking about the era of the Premiership?
I think over the last few years, I wouldn't talk, Rio and Adams eras and all these kind of times, but certainly as a ball playing centre back, someone, I think he has lost that yard of pace personally that he had before the injury. So I think that definitely you can see has had an impact on his game, but he's adjusted, and now he's certainly up near the levels of the Van Dijk we knew before the injury. But I don't think he is as he doesn't have that same aura he did before the injury. Before the injury, I remember people were like, "Oh yeah, no one's managed to take Van Dijk on. No one's managed to beat him in a one-on-one." Whereas now, I think people think, he can be got at, but he's still very good in a system-based defense.
Okay, interesting. Brian, what would your response to B&G's assessment on VVD?
Well, top 10. I mean, more like top 2. It's more like top 3. Even in the Premier League era, you can go back to 92. You can start whenever. Guys, yeah, he's top 2, top 3. Some people have a Terry or a Rio. Other than that, I don't think, Terry's played like 600 odd games. Rio has won 12 bloody major trophies or whatever it is. Excuse me. The only thing Van Dijk did is he started a bit later at a top team. He's like 26 when he joined us, 27 before he kind of got up to speed, and started winning things. So he hasn't been able to, Rio and Terry were doing it from day dot. But I think me personally, I have Liverpool bias. Up until maybe 2 years ago, I would have said Rio Ferdinand was still better than him over just Premier League. Or I would have said Rio was he had a few bits more to his game. But I think right now I wouldn't be able to split them. I think they're the two. I think Rio and VVD are the two best centre halves to have been in the Premier League.
No, that's fair enough, Brian. I mean, for me, like I said, again, maybe the bias scenario of it. Personally, I would put VVD. I believe he's the best Premiership defending all eras, and the reason why I say that, and don't get like you said, the Rios, you can say the Terrys or Vidic, who I think again overrated. Jaap Stam is another one. I just think VVD, he can do everything those defenders can do and more. And people will say the era of strikers is not the same as it was before, which is a good point. But again, what's that?
I said I was about to mention that. Being fair, objectively speaking, I don't think Van Dijk is coming up against the same kind of customers that your Terrys or your Rios were coming up against in modern football era. You look at your Drogmas, you look at your Henrys, Henrys, etc. Like, I don't think Van Dijk's coming up against very good players, but that centre forward era, that lone, number 9, true number 9 era has been gone for quite a few years now. So in that sense, that's why I would say. But yeah, certainly when I said top 10, I didn't mean he was down there. He probably is up there right near the top, as you said, because he's got all the attributes of a ball-playing centre-back. He does have physicality. I just don't know if I compare him to a Vidic, is he that physical? Does he want that physical battle? Yeah, I'm not sure. Especially after the injury. Before injury, for sure, I agree with you guys. But after injury, I think that has taken a little bit away from his game.
The only what I'd say, I would obviously you're correct. There was the striker era is not we're not in a great time for strikers. I think everybody knows that. Just look at the prices for the likes of Ekitike and Sesko, guys that should be 25, 30 million quid or freaking 80 million quid. But the Terrys as well, these boys probably played in more orthodox back fours. They weren't playing super high lines. They weren't playing up against maybe players are quicker, a lot faster these days. You're up against much faster players, not as physical, maybe not the Drogbas and who else to think, like Duncan Ferguson, these kind of, big, strong, burly strikers every week. They're still out there. It is a different game, but like if you'd asked John Terry to play on the halfway line, Rio could have done it, I'm sure. He could have. It's about, yeah. Like that's why I don't really can't say. Oh well, Pele wouldn't have been able to do it in the Premier League. If Pele was born 20 years ago, he'd still be Pele. He'd be Lamal now. It's or Van Dijk couldn't do it back in the 60s. It's like if he was back there, if he had the ability, he'd be able to do it. It's hard to put people into different eras and generations, but yeah, if you want a complete package, I mean, I think if he joined Liverpool, or if he'd gone to a Man City when he was 22, he'd probably have like 3 European Cups and 6 league titles now. But his trophy haul is only starting to kind of slightly become commensurate with his talent, like 2 league titles. He needed more than one to be in that conversation. He's got a European Cup. He's won a lot now, but he's now 33 years of age. So if it's a medals on the table job, he's never going to be able to go toe to toe with the likes of Terry and Rio and some of these other guys, even an Ashley Cole for titles won and that kind of stuff, games played. But yeah, I think he's nearly back to his best. I think he's nearly there. I don't think there's a lot really to pick apart in him. But like you said, man, a lot of players 20 years ago in ACL, that was your career over. Forget about coming back. That would just end your career. A bad one. Yeah. So,
I think
for him to come back.
One thing I will say, I mean, I don't know what you guys think, but for me, just looking at Van Dijk and looking at physicality in the Premiership, and I think this is a common trend now. When I look at defenders and their physical build, your Sol Campbells, your John Terrys, your even Rio to a point, physically, they seemed a bit more fuller. Whereas I look at Van Dijk and think he could pack on another 5-6 kilos of muscle easy and carry it off. Even I look at someone like Saliba in our team or Gabriel. Physically, they're not the units they were. So I wonder if Van Dijk was to do that, would that be a help or a hindrance in terms of the physicality? Or is it a case of the club have looked at it and thought, it's not needed, Virgil. You just need to keep your speed and you the boxer build type. We're happy with that. Do you think he could, in terms of this laziness, would that help him? Because in a physical battle, or are you like, well, no, actually, he seems suited enough for this current generation of opposition he's facing?
Me personally, I think he's probably at his peak. He looks pretty big to me, and especially with wear and tear on the knee and all that, maybe keeping the weight on the lower side is what he's looking at. You look at someone like Mo Salah, all about core strength, but he doesn't have a pick on him. He puts a jersey on him, he looks about 7 stone wet. But you see him on the beach there yesterday, bloody 8-pack. He's got real kind of, little flyweight boxer kind of body on him. Virgil, yeah, it's just all that turning and sprinting and turning and sprinting. Yeah, I'm sure that. To me, he looks fine. I was surprised to hear you say that he could put on a bit more. To me, I mean, maybe I'm a skinny guy, but to me, he looks pretty bulky. He looks, pretty big compared to some. Like Rio was quite tall, but he was very gangly. Rio was never muscly, never bulky. But yeah, it's just some twat on my. Well, not some twat. I'm sorry, Carl. You were being a twat with your opinion that he was lazy, and it was kind of a bit of a. Really? I mean, I've heard a lot of things said about a lot of players at our club, but I've never heard anybody call VV lazy.
Oh my word!
Well, I think that
maybe it was the time zone or something.
Pointing to others and calling out the fact that they weren't doing their job. Nathan will tell you he played football, and I'm a defensive player, and you do need that. And I think that's where people are like, well, you're lazy, you're just calling out to others. But in a system-based approach, that's his job. Like, at the back, he needs to call out the players who are not tracking back and keeping a track of their player. I don't think, from a work rate perspective, I'm pretty sure looking at his stats and stuff, that lazy, that don't stack up in that sense. But maybe in terms of going above and beyond. But he's done that in games that I've seen, where he's then come across and put a challenge in and then berated the players next to him for not doing what they should have been doing.
Exactly what you just said there. I've seen him come across and cover for Kanate multiple times, and he just gets up and he gives Kanate the eyes. He doesn't even have to give out something, he just gives him that look. Going, I'm doing your job for you, mate. Cop on.
Yeah,
Switch on.
I think that Trent's not next to him anymore. I can see that he wasn't too pleased with Trent's tracking skills at times.
Yeah, Ebo's probably gone, I'm covering that guy. How can he's I'm going to cover you? Ebo's, well, I'm having to cover him. And the blame game starts then, the pointing starts then.
Yeah. Chain of circles, to be honest. JK, anything else you wanted to add on the VVD? Lazy VVD? JK?
Oh, he's gone for a Biggie Small.
Yeah, exactly, right. He's still Biggie Small. Okay, JK is still busy. All right. Okay, all right. I'm just going to put a next article and then we'll do a little fun bit and wait for JK. We'll go through the player of the seasons and all that business. This is something will interest you as well, Brian. About a certain target, and Goats, you can have your opinion about this. Which again, we've talked about this before, but yeah.
Can I just say, well, good players always look lazy, but good players make the game look slow and lazy because they're that good.
Busquets strolled around the middle of the pitch. Pirlo strolled around the middle of the pitch.
Messi, you name him. But there's a method to the madness. Not every player can be fast-paced.
Being where you need to be. Yeah. If you're sprinting hitter and titter, headless chicken job, is because you're out of position and you don't know where you're supposed to be and you're just being a busy idiot. Got people like Virgil going, just sit there, do your thing, be where you're supposed to be, time your tackles. Just then you don't have to look like you don't have to walk off the pitch covered in mud and blood.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. All right, I'm just gonna go again. Brian will know about this and JK, and then Goats, you can have your say about this player. So it says Liverpool want to act quickly as a player, 101 million offer for Premier League star, which I find it hard to believe, but we'll just discuss it anyway. So again, oh look, surprise, surprise, it's Miss Alexandra Isak. So just more reports about that. Obviously, we've been linked with other strikers like Hugo Entikete, and then obviously Isaac. We know we've been eyeing for a while, and obviously said the Reds have been saying the Liverpool, which again I find it untrue, but who knows? Liverpool can now go in for Newcastle striker Isaac, with Spanish websites claiming that the Reds have been closely monitoring Newcastle talks to the player regarding a possible contract renewal, which we all knew about. And the Liverpool board want to act quickly if they see these negotiations don't come to fruition. They are ready to make an offer, a significant offer of 120 euros, which are 101 million pounds if talks don't go to plan. It's understood the 100 million will be fixed and the remaining 20 million will come in variable amounts depending on the player's performances and goals he achieves. And obviously it says the 25-year-old will be
getting a facial.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah, sorry about that.
Oh my god. Okay. How much extra you have to pay, Get your own on-site kind of makeup person and all that. This is big time YouTubing over here.
That's Hollywood.
Got the makeup girl coming in,
that's
fixing his glow and all of that.
We can't hear you, bro. You're on mute.
You're on mute now, aren't you?
That shocked?
No, sorry, that's a prayer thing. That's a prayer thing. That's why she did that. Right. That's why. So
okay. Blessings.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, sorry. I was just saying for JK, so obviously he says the 25-year-old is at the ideal moment to take another step in his career, and the Merseyside club will be the perfect destination for him to come. So just before we go into Isak, JK, me, Brian, Gokes talking about the whole VVD, about where he is as a player. I mean, what's your thoughts on VVD?
For me, the best centre half since Alan Hansen. like what a centre back, bro. He's been the best in the world since years. You know, he's won 2 Premier League titles and the Champions League. That's like the big cups he's won since he's been with us. But player for player, bro, he's better than John Terry, Rio Ferdinand, all these guys. Come on, you know, like who are these guys? You know, Van Dijk is he's on a level of Messi and Ronaldo. On the Ballon d'Or awards, it was them 3 sitting together. That's the level he's on. Van Dijk for me, the best in the business. And at his age as well, just pulled off a season like that after that injury he got. Respect. Took on the captain's armband, won the Premier League title, bro. Come on, man. You dream about that sort of stuff, don't you?
No, 100%. Definitely 100% with that, JK. Agree with that. Okay, if before we go, so as you can see, JK, about the Isak, I mean, we all know about it, and obviously Liverpool in the background, but I mean, I know we've kind of gone on through and previous, and we'll start with Gokes first, and then we'll go around Brian, and then yourself, JK. I mean, obviously, it looks like, I mean, I think we're more focused on next season than this, the following season after the next current season coming. I mean, G, what's your opinion on Isak as a player? Are you disappointed Arsenal haven't gone for him? What's your thoughts on Isak?
I like Isak as a player. I don't think he's suited to Arsenal, and sadly our very terrorist, defensively minded manager. I think for you guys on the transition, he's a good player. I think he guarantees you. All right. Sorry, my daughter's throwing a hiss of it. Give me a minute.
That's cool. For me, Isaac, bro, I've heard, because I've seen like a Newcastle talk show and they're on about Isaac needs an operation. And Fozzie was telling me about his knee or something. So that straight away told me, look, for me, Isaac's probably my first choice striker we should bring in and stuff. But if he needs an operation on wherever, that's the latest news I heard. So I don't think that will happen then.
Remains to be seen. I mean, we'll see if that's the truth. We'll see. Brian, I know you mentioned it. It's just, I mean, we discussed it in your channel. Are you still feeling the same as we discussed before with Isak? Because I mean, before you answer, sorry, Brian, to cut. Apologies. I mean, the 101 million, that's not going to be this season. It's going to be a next season thing, isn't it?
Yeah, and I also haven't. That's the first time I've heard that as well, about an operation on his knee or whatever. I haven't heard that. But the way I read that to me is saying Newcastle are trying to get him to sign a new deal, and if he says no, then that says to Newcastle. That says what it says to Newcastle, and at that point, we will then say, well, look, the guy's not going to sign a new deal with you. What's the story? Are you willing to sell? Because it's very hard to get him out of there. Real hard. And that'd be step one on his, he won't be asking for a transfer. But basically saying no to a new deal, you're just then turning the clock on, and you kind of change the attitude as well around you. You change the atmosphere, because once if he turns down a new deal, they'll let it be known that he's turned down a new deal. And the fans then will have a different attitude towards him. So I think that's just Liverpool aren't at the door trying to get him bought, but they're looking at it. And if they find out that he said no to a new contract, then we'll go in and go, right, we can do it. Now, again, I don't see it happening this year. I can't see us spending that much money on Wirtz and Isak in the same season and also doing everything else. I would kill to be wrong about that. I would kill to be wrong, and we wake up with Wirtz and Kerkez and Frimpong and Isak and a new centre midfielder and a new centre half. I would love that. But I think we're probably going to try and muddle through this season with nobody and get this guy next year. But the board and Edwards will be looking at going, if he turns down a new contract, then you go in and you test the water then. Then you see, are they prepared to let him go now rather than keep him gets a bit cheaper next summer. Only 2 years left. The fans know he's not really committed to the club. He knows he's not really committed to the club, so you can kind of come in then. But it will be amazing to know that we had that kind of capability to do a deal like that if it became available. Because if you go and get him now, then you fast forward our projects. If you add Wirtz and Isak and Frimpong to this team and Kirkes, you've geez, man, that's like 4 or 5 years worth of good work, you know, all in one summer. And you move on a couple of guys who don't have a future here anymore. And that team, that's not too much for me. Like, oh, a lot of change, but oh, what you're gonna worry about bringing in too many and one of them is Isak for Jota and the other is Wirtz for Harvey Elliott or Dom Szoboszlai. You know, I can deal with that level of change. So go and get it done. I think they're just being clever. They're watching that thing and they're going to try and pounce. I can't see him signing a new deal. I don't. If I'm Isak, I'm looking at Newcastle and I'm looking at my career and going, yeah, I've just done 25 plus in the Premier League 2 seasons in a row. This is me. I'm peak now. I'm primed. Another year at Newcastle. That's not going to cut it for him. He should be playing for Bayern, Real Madrid, Liverpool, whoever it is. And I think he knows that. So I think the game begins now with him. And if I was a Newcastle fan, I would be very, very uncomfortable with this scenario because he's incredibly good. And they know once he leaves, they're doing well to hang on to the Brunos, you know. But this guy, that's like Owen leaving Liverpool. It's like Suarez leaving Liverpool. It's like, oh, they were building a good team, but everyone knew this guy was the main part and he walks. Yeah, that's not a nice place to be as a fan.
I think he walks into any of the top 4.
Yeah.
Given his attributes and his stats.
I
mean, I know he takes pens and stuff, but
if you understand what I mean, Arsenal ain't had a good striker since Ian Wright. I'm joking.
The problem is our system of defensive football and zero counter-attack building up from the back. It wouldn't suit his game. I think he's perfectly suited for you guys. And as Brian said, I think he needs to now make a decision of, you know, do I hang around at Newcastle where this project, it's progressed, but it's not really gotten off the ground. They've just won a cup and that's it really. Again, you know, in terms of actually challenging for anything, they're not really there. They're not consistent enough and they don't have those world beater players throughout their squad. And Guimaraes is good.
They're only in the Champions League because the fucking fifth spot opened up. They got fifth.
Exactly.
No fifth this year and they don't get it. So it's not like they're up there third, you know, really, like you say, actually challenging.
Well, like I said, Liverpool can turn around and say, we just won it. We just won the Premier League and we've won it a couple of years before that. And we've won cups and we've got, you know, a bigger fan base being respectful to Newcastle and a bigger history than Newcastle. So I think in terms of the pull, as they say, Liverpool have it. It's just like you said, I think it's going to come down to whether he's willing to upset that relationship with the Newcastle board and fans and kind of not sign that new deal and go for free, like a Trent has done and caught a lot of slack for, rightly so. Or whether Newcastle, from a business perspective, think, look, he's got a couple of years. If he doesn't sign, we need to cut our losses and get, you know, as best as strong money as we can and move him on. And but I think there would be other, you know, fish in the pond, so to speak, if that was the case. I think Liverpool would have a challenge in their hands in terms of whether it be an Arsenal, whether it be, you know, a Chelsea, a Man United. Strikers, you know, are difficult to come by at the best of times. Someone that gets you consistently 25 goals certainly would be of interest to a lot of top clubs, as you mentioned.
Are you guys, are you guys signing Sesko or what's going on there, Arsenal?
I hope not, because for me, that's another project. And this is why, you know, I like Isak because he's Premiership proven. We know, you know, he's used to the pace of the league as well. I don't believe a 13-goal striker is going to be what's going to solve our problems, personally. Neither do I think Gyökeres is, 1,000,000% the answer, but I fancy my bets more on him than I do bloody Sesko. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, it's the market, isn't it? That's what we're saying. This striker market is
dead. Like,
yeah,
there's hope
big
and
money
potential.
for average, unproven young players.
Yeah. So,
Yeah, we said this.
100%.
Yeah. No, go on, JK. Go for it.
No, I was just agreeing. Like, look at the old days of football, bro. There would be 12 strikers worldwide that'd be like, I'll get any of them. I'll want any of them. Now you got one or two. Like, come on, man. Where's the quality going in football? People like these guys are getting paid much more than the guys who were top world-class players, bro. I think we give the tag of world-class too easily now as well. It is just a madness, bro. And that's why I think quality is always important in anything, food, the people even, good quality person compared to a bad quality person. But for me, football's been going downhill for a long time. I don't really understand it. Like, these guys are more athletic than footballers. They're all athletes, they're sort of designed to be robots. And if the flair comes, look at Szoboszlai, for example, bro. Before he came to Liverpool, he was a flair type of player. Little flicks, little this, that, whack it from outside the box. He should have been what Wirtz was going to be, hopefully. And what's happened is he's come to Liverpool and he's sort of turned into a robot. He's running. And that's what football is now. Why? Because flair players don't give you the work rate. Solid players who run around all the time do, and get you covered. Because for me, football's like, I don't want to lose this game. Hence why I won't play the number 10 today. I'll play that guy instead. And that's football in general, bro. Quality-wise and having big names to pick from, shopping, it's gone downhill. Who are you going to replace Van Dijk with? Let's be honest here now. There's not one name out there, there's not 5 names out there in world football.
VVQ.
VVQ, bro.
Yeah, remember that?
Yeah, I was some of our fan base on some other channels. I'm going to do a
Liverpool
timeline.
fans, man. They're the absolute worst.
Nameless, yeah, terrible. And then the same thing, Strash. And again, it's all this, and this is the 2025. Guys. This is 2025. We have fans that, regardless of whether you go to the game or not, I'm not even going to go into that because people have different circumstances. Not about that, but it's just the knowledge is just so dumbfounded. People jump on the bandwagon as this player, and the next minute when they have 5 games, they're the worst player in the world. And that's, again, it's logic. It's logic. And this is what we have to deal with. And people want to be Nostradamus and predict certain futures. Oh, I have a crystal ball in the future. Osimhen is coming, guaranteed, June the 22nd.
Yeah, if you put it out there and if it works, it works. And if it don't, no one's going to say nothing to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the world we live in now, bro. Social media is wicked about that because you can hide behind a keyboard and do it.
Exactly.
I'm going to predict this, and if it comes off, everyone's going to say, I'm the man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he's crap. Oh, he's like 2 games. No, he's rubbish. No. He's only played 3 games. No, he's rubbish. He's dead. Because even yesterday, guy, I was arguing with this guy. I mean, on one of the Liverpool, I think Coppish, about Chiesa, and is saying, "Oh, but he's dead food. He's dead weight. He's rubbish." I said, "How can he be rubbish when he's been fit?" He said, "But he's got a medal. What do you expect?" And I was thinking, well, make it make sense. You can't say a player's dead if he hasn't had game time. It's been all subs, like 4 or 5 appearances. You can't make a judgment no matter how the player is. You can say the manager does not fancy him, like doesn't, for whatever reason, whether we agree or disagree that he doesn't want him, no. But as other guys saying he's rubbish, you can't be rubbish within 4 or 5 substitute appearances. Like, there's got to be logic. But again, this is what we're dealing with. And it's in certain fan bases, not all our fan bases. There's a part in certain fan bases that think like that, but it is what it is. This is the problem.
I think the problem is a lot of fans don't look objectively at the core basics of football. They just look at moments and then base their, assessment of a player on moments. Whereas, us maybe older school fans look at, has the guy got a touch? Can he take a player on? What's his heading ability like? Things like this. Whereas a lot of modern fans, they're looking at, expected pass rate or, scanning rate and all this nonsense stat merchants that have come up with to base on a player. Or they're just judging him on one moment. Oh, someone like a Garnacho, if he has a good moment, but he was excellent. Well, no, we're looking at the fundamental basics. Does he pass the eye test? Does he have, the fundamentals of what we would deem a very good footballer? A lot of these footballers don't, but because the metrics, they're athletes, and they have those little moments now and again. Fans seem to be fooled into thinking, oh no, he's actually a really good player when he's not.
Mm-hmm. No, I agree. Agree for me. Right, I'll just read these little comments here, and then we'll get to the seasons and play of the seasons, etc. Ravi says, for me, people have to be consistent. Apologies, in leagues, tournaments, and show who they are. More to be world class. Not a handful of games, and hey presto, world class. That's why football fans are a recooked. Yeah, agree.
Agreed.
Yeah, we often agree with that, Ravi. And he did say before, Gyökeres is great. It's people looking at him playing in the Portuguese league and downplaying him. That's fair enough. Me personally, I'm still not convinced by Gyökeres, and not to do with the Portuguese league, just certain things I've seen in him. So
yeah, I've seen him live a few times, and I'd have never thought one day he's going to be a Liverpool striker. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
The only thing on Gyökeres is if you look at someone like Mo Salah in our team, and especially if you believe some people that will say, oh, we don't feed our striker, we'll never, we don't need a striker because we're not going to pass the ball to him. I don't think it's as simple as that at all. But if you look at Gyökeres, scores a lot of goals, but without wanting to get too stats in it, but if you look at the amount of shots he takes, he has a huge volume of shots. So it's pretty, like, they break away and almost everything goes through him. We have a Salah. We wouldn't spread, like, if he could play in the team and he could come in for 15, 20 games and get you 18 goals, that's great. But it's just the way he plays, the way they play with him, the way they use him, the amount of shots he takes. Like, it's kind of like Mo numbers in terms of the way we play through him. So I'm not sure someone like that, you'd sound stupid. They come and they score 20 league goals. You sound stupid. They've got 20 league goals, but does he? Like, he's a guy who likes to get his head down and just run. If you watch a lot of the goals he scores, he just gets his head down and runs at people. Doesn't really use players around him much. Bit of a one-man band. So does that work for us? Again, if you're going to play with a guy like that, absolutely go and get him. But I don't think our team would much more like Vert's playing with Gakpo and lads playing off Salah. These interchanges, Frimpong and Kirk, it won't all be going through this guy. And plus, low blocks, sitting out and then, trying to break down a low block. He's not like, that's an Isak kind of guy. That's a Verts kind of guy. Gyökeres is just that guy. Gets his head down, just run at you. Very old school, but he scores a shitload of goals. So you're sitting here going, oh, I don't know about him, but you look at his numbers, you sound stupid. Sound like you're trying to be a tactical, like, find out why he wouldn't fit into our team. Put him in our team and he scores goals and we find a way of getting him in. Cool, let's go for it. But yeah,
Is it an easy choice for you guys, though? Because, unfortunately, Darwin has made it a case of, well, anyone is going to be better than him. And in terms of pure finishing and pure goal scoring, there's no argument in my mind that Gyökeres would be a huge improvement on Darwin. So really, because Darwin's been so poor, whoever you bring in is going to be an improvement, a marked improvement. He's not going to miss the sitters that Darwin has been known to miss. There's no way.
Yeah, that's the thing. I don't think we even want to play with a Darwin type now. Even he wants a Bobby Firmino, I think, there in the middle. or ideally like an Isak or something like that, someone who can drift and drop deep. So yeah, again, yeah, Darwin, sick of talking about him. So
I think I agree with what you're saying is that Isak is an all-round, overall player that can contribute a bit more, whereas Gokaris is essentially a gunman. You put him up there,
yeah,
he will get you goals, but he doesn't really get involved in the team dynamics of things. He's there for himself to get him his 20-25 goals a season. Again, personally, I think any team bites your hand off for that kind of player, but I appreciate that Liverpool are a team that could look at that and think, no, actually, we'd rather, have someone that's going to fit our profile more and our playing style more positively than someone that is just going to be for themselves.
it's all about who decides to take the risk on this guy, isn't it? Because I think he's 27 now as well, so that's a thing now. 27 is old these days. Yeah, but whoever takes a chance on him is going to get goals. I could see him at like Bayern instead of Harry Kane, or one of these kind of things. But if someone takes the chance, I think they will get goals out of him.
Yeah, for sure. My only worry is looking at his development, as you said, and given that I think he was at Burnley or another, he was in the Championship for a bit.
Coventry.
Yeah,
Coventry,
Coventry. And he didn't really light it up there, but then there are players like that. So he's either going to come and hit the ground running and get his expected numbers, or he's going to struggle and he might be one of these confidence-based players where once he's out of form and he's lost the confidence, it's just not going to ever click for him. Someone like a Falcao, who was amazing at, Atletico, but then as he started moving through the different clubs, he never really rediscovered that confidence, that form in front of goal. But if he can hit the ground running, I think that will continue forward into the years coming. But if he has struggles and blips, I don't know whether Gokaris is the kind of player to deal with that. He hasn't shown that. We don't know that. That's the chance where maybe some Premier League teams are like, well, how's he going to be if he's a fair weather player? If he's up against it, is he going to add value to the team? And that's where your Isak argument is correct, that whether Isak adds anything in terms of goals is kind of acceptable as long as he's adding to the team. And he's shown at Newcastle that he does add work rate, he does add hold-up play, he does interchange play, and he can come up with individual moments himself. So all round, I agree he's a better player than Gokaris.
We saw what he did to Virgil van Dijk. We talk about Virgil. He twisted Virgil to the point where Virgil ended up on his arse, and then he just bent it into the bottom corner from outside the box, all in the space of basically one move. Yeah. You've seen what he can do.
Top striker. I was just thinking about, like, I need to find out about this operation these guys were talking about. Because for me, them not getting Champions League is a big obstacle now. We need a striker like Isak, who's going to just score goals. No drama, no nothing, just score goals, I think it's a missing sort of jigsaw in the attack. And also realise we didn't really play with the number 9 as a central figure last season. It was always Salah. So we've got to think about that as well. If a guy comes in, how is Slot going to play this guy? Is he going to carry on like we did this season? Or will he say, you know what, you're the focal point, everything's going to go through you? So there's a lot of ifs and buts as well, we've got to get a striker, like a Bobby type of striker,
I don't played with a true out-and-out striker since Suarez, personally.
Say again.
I don't think Liverpool have played with a true out-and-out striker since the days of Suarez, in my opinion.
Yeah, true. Because Bobby was in for when Klopp came in, so actually came in before Klopp.
Benteke was, but he flopped after 1 year.
Yeah, I don't know why we ever bought him, but yeah.
That was Brendan's choice. You know what I mean?
Brendan's choice sounds like some chicken for hum, Brendan's
chicken salami.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. But then again, we did have Origi, but again, just unfortunately the injury, and then who we had,
Come on, compare him to Suarez.
No, I'm not.
out and out striker. Yeah, I get what you're saying. He did try that with Origi, but I think Origi was more of an impact player. He was
Yeah,
never your, first class striker that you can hang your hat on. Suarez
Oh,
was that guy. He was that guy.
No,
at
you could hang
Juve,
your hat
that
on him
guy
in a
at
way.
Atletico, Barca even. Barca was the only team that Suarez had to take a step back and just work as part of MSN. But even then,
he won the
he
golden
was
boot.
always a striker.
Well, he was the main striker. They got Messi and Neymar ahead of him.
Yeah.
But I agree, Cox. No, 100%. I mean, look, can't deny it. Scumbag of a man, scumbag of a being. Shouldn't be saying that, but he is. I'm sorry, but of a player, yeah, of course, world class. I mean, he was with the famous tree. He won Golden Boot ahead of Messi. I think 2 seasons. I can't remember. So yeah, can't deny the quality though. So that's fair enough. And this is why, obviously, Gokes, in our fan base, there's some people not in the chat saying that Slot wants to play with a false nine. Says who? And this is what I'm saying. People think says who?
I
Because
think
at Feyenoord, he played with an out-and-out number 9.
Yes, I was about to say that.
Yeah.
I think last season, Slot was on damage control. I think as well as Slot's done, which is why this achievement by a lot of people is probably going under the radar. But the fact that he won it really within an experimental season of just kind of steadying the ship, telling the players that, look, you're a good squad, we're going to do well, and, let's kind of build from there. I think now we're going to really see, he's kind of true arsenal of, tactics and tools. I think last season was just his kind of warm up, his starter. I think even him, if he was honest, didn't really expect Liverpool to be as successful as they were. And I think there's various things there. I think the rest of the opposition weren't as good as they could have been. Certainly us, in terms of mounting any real pressure, we didn't. And in terms of just tactically and as a squad, Liverpool dealt with the season last season a lot better than any of their rivals. Hence, they ended up winning it because they were the most consistent and they dealt with their little injuries or their little phases better than anyone else. But I think there's nothing to say that Slot can't switch it up. And if he's smart, looking at the way the Premiership goes, in terms of every couple of years, managers, systems, tactics get updated, it wouldn't be a complete shock if he decided to go another route. Neither would it be a shock if he just continued his steady and slow, kind of style of play. But it depends on what he's got. He seems very adept, which is why I rate him, and I'm sure a lot of neutrals have rated him in terms of taking what he has and utilizing it to the best of their absolute ability.
No, it's fair enough. That's fair enough. Right. I'm just going to read some of these comments and then we'll continue with our play of the season, etc., the categories in terms of who we think regarding this. So N90 says fundamental basics are the best way to go. I agree. Big yourself up. See, Brian just giving you a shout out there.
Good channel, yeah. He did his first live stream yesterday, I think it was. N90,
nice.
He did his first ever. He's just set up. He's got a couple of videos, but he did his first ever live stream.
Oh, wicked.
I was in there with him. Yeah, I was in there. He's a good show. Just covering the news and stuff. So I was in the chat. Talking to him for a while. So yeah, he's a good man, good channel. So yeah, definitely if any of your mods can put N90's link in there, he's got a good channel going there, man.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know, but I'll subscribe, and so big up N90. If Brian says it, so I'll subscribe and I'll watch your channel. So big up yourself and congratulations on that. Ravi says we need a striker, no question about it, 100%. And that's a hello from 90. A big up. Okay. Osman for me as a striker has the whole package pulls. All right, we'll do it quickly. We'll answer this quickly. Osman, yes or no? JK.
Not for me, no.
Cool. Brian?
No. Yeah. Also, he wants about 2 billion quid a week, so he's getting it over in Saudi now. So, yeah, not going to happen.
Yeah. G? Would you take Osimhen at Arsenal?
Now, I've got a bit of a different perspective because, as you know, I'm a Gala fan, so I've been watching Osimhen closely. I personally think, yes, I would. Obviously, out of Isak and him, I would think Isak would be the more guaranteed signing. And if the finances were more agreeable, then I can see a lot more teams going for him. But I think Osimhen could do well at any of the top 4 clubs because he doesn't rely on pace, really. It's more positioning. He does get a volume of shots off. And he is that player that even if he's doing nothing in a game, he will get you a goal. So as a pure striker, I like Osimhen. And as a Gala fan, obviously he's settled really well. In terms of, is he top class? Would I put him into the echelons of other top strikers? Maybe not. But I think depending on the finances, the money you'd pay and the output you get, you guys need a striker. Most of the top clubs need a competent striker. I'd take him at Arsenal all day long. And I think he's proved at Gala that no matter what the league, because, for those who don't watch the Turkish league, it's not exactly the cleanest, nicest league to play in. So physically, the other smaller teams are really out to, how can I say, give the strikers or the opposition, especially the top 4 opposition in that league, a hell of a time. So the fact that he's dealt with that, not really been injured that much, and he's had the output, he's top scorer in Turkey, says to me that he can handle the physicality. Whether he'll handle the pace of the Premier League, that is the big question on Osimhen. But would I take him if the finances was right? Absolutely. I think it's just his wages that are a problem for a lot of big clubs. But yeah, again, I say to all of you guys, him or Darwin, him or nothing. I'm sure a lot of you would then take Osimhen if we're putting it in that context.
Cool. No problem.
I think he's just playing for money. I think he's like another Hulk. I honestly, I just think this guy has decided it's a short career, and I'm going to go and earn as much money as possible. That's just, I don't want to be denigrating any of it. It just seems like that to me, that he wants to go and play. He's turned down big clubs and he's like turned down like hundreds of thousands of pounds a week to play for top clubs, win stuff. So to me, it just seems like he's going to go that route. So I wouldn't want to get involved in that.
Being fair though, Napoli have always been difficult to deal with regards to him.
Understatement of the year. Yeah. Napoli are a bitch to deal with.
Yeah. So it's not just his wages. Yes, his wages are not helping. Again, just coming from someone that's seen him, and I hear negotiations between him and Gala. Actually, he's not the biggest issue here. The biggest issue is he's upset the Napoli hierarchy to that level with his actions, with these last minute, the shock transfer to Gala as well. Because I don't think Napoli were expecting them to call his bluff, in that they are not going to make it easy or even smooth for him to go anywhere. So for him to go anywhere, they need to meet Napoli's valuation, which no one at the moment is kind of doing. So he's now having to look at your Saudis, who are offering him mad money, obviously, because I think he's proven what he needs to prove in Turkey. So it makes no sense unless he just wants to stay and play Champions League football, which isn't guaranteed given that Gala need to qualify. So he's probably doing the sensible thing and taking the money for a year or two and then moving to a bigger side when maybe, they can deal with the Saudis rather than Napoli.
Yeah, true. Again, I'm just working off instinct on it. Yeah, I don't know. But it's just Romano. Anytime Romano would ever talk about him, he would always say the problem with Osimhen is the wage demand. He said he could have been at X, Y, and Z club, but it was always wages. So he has this big expectation. Again, I don't know if whether people like Romano or whatever, but it's just when he just repeats the same thing. He said, "Look, Osimhen, it's about wages. It's about wages." Like he could have, like there's even people saying, and I don't know. There's people saying that the reason we didn't let Darwin go when he had agreed to deal with Al Hilal in January was because we weren't able to get a striker, and it was Osimhen that we were trying to get. I don't know what you guys think about that. That to me seemed a bit But like you said, if you said to me, you have two choices, Darwin Núñez or Osimhen, well, I'd take Osimhen. Yeah, of course I would.
Yeah, like I said, from all the media reports I've seen in Turkey, he seems like a really down to earth guy. He's already considered, believe it or not, I know it seems ridiculous, but he's considered a legend in Gala already, just in one season. The fact that Icardi's been injured and he's picked up the slack and he's carried that team in certain key moments. I don't know whether I'm buying into this whole, he's just a greedy mercenary. I think obviously agents play a big role. And I don't know how much input he has into just saying, look, I don't care about the money, get me to this club. I assume from all the things that's been said that he actually was very keen on Chelsea. But again, Napoli were just really difficult to deal with. And Chelsea got fed up with dealing with them. And hence why he then thought he'd teach Napoli a lesson by then taking the Gala route, which was just on the table, but no one in their right mind thought he was going to take that route. And he did, just because it got so toxic with Napoli.
But they put up that tweet about him, didn't they?
Yeah.
I think that kind of ended as soon as they put up that tweet. It was
untenable.
Yeah.
It was gone then.
It's done. It's done. Yeah, no problem. All right. So obviously, Ravi and NIT time is done. Darwin, and the sooner the better, especially for our Brian, as far as I'm concerned, we can stop talking about him. Ravi says we won't pay the price Newcastle want for Isak. Well, not this season, no, but talk about following season. I think we will, because he wants Liverpool is his first choice. Just excuses,
Did I hear somewhere he was a Liverpool fan when he was younger? Or am I hearing that wrong?
I'm not sure about that. I don't think so, to be honest, G. I'm not sure about that. I have to check that.
Yeah.
But there you go. Ravi says we go Chris anyway, so point is talking about him. We get Isak. Liverpool, we like a false 9 to a proper 9.
True.
Maybe. We don't know. We don't know about that, Rafi. I think everyone's jumping the gun, to be honest. Yeah, appreciate that, N90. Big up. And obviously, JK's put your link in the channel. I will subscribe to that. We got, obviously, Irishman, myself, Liverpool 12th man, and then JK. JK, mate, is a man of many subjects. Oh, big up Bunkers. Big up yourself. We probably won't sign any players the following season. We are getting things down now for the new season. That could be the case. But yeah, that's fine, Bunkers.
Yeah, we ain't spending for another 5 windows after this one.
I mean,
we've only got one player in so far.
Yeah, I know. We're still waiting, but there you go.
Yeah, I mean, bro.
But there you go. All right, guys, listen, we're going to do something just a bit different. So obviously we know the season's finished and the team of this season has been done. So we're not going to go that. So we're going to do it in different categories in terms of players. So, and this is not, you have to be a one-word answer. You can elaborate if you want. We're free here. We can go into detail about the player. So the first category I will go with, and I'll start it off, it will be player of the season. For me, the obvious Mo, obviously, scorers, assists. Unfortunately, he couldn't break Henry's assist record because that would have given, not you, G, you're not too fussed about it, but other the AFT, the fanboys in the meltdown. But that's fine. And, what more can you say about him? We went a bit off steam at the end, but that's fine. So, Mo, for me, player of the season, and we'll go around JK, Brian, and then yourself, G, at the end.
Yeah, for me, Salah as well. No problem. Yeah.
Brian?
Oh, yeah, you got to be boring. I was trying to think of an alternative. No, I suppose just be boring. It's got to be Mo, really.
Mm-hmm. Okay, G, yourself?
I'm going to go a bit controversial here. Obviously, Mo always gets his numbers. But I think from an outside perspective, there's two players I've looked at that have really made a big impact on your team. And for me, that's going to be Szoboszlai and Gravenberch. So for me, they've had the most. Szoboszlai probably edges it for me in terms of that player that's been that consistent in your team. While Salah gets the plaudits behind the scenes, I think Szoboszlai is doing a hell of a lot. And for me, he's come in and been the player of your season, for me.
Szoboszlai, oh wow, that's a big surprise. Okay.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, all right, no problem. Again, it's your choice. I mean, I think the three of us would disagree, but no, that's an interesting choice. Sobo, okay. No problem at all. No problem at all. A lot of people will disagree with you, G, but that's fair enough. You're seeing it from your point of view as a neutral in terms of the. All right, guys, we'll go on to the next pick, and that'll be goalkeeper of the season. Yeah, I think I've said it in other channels, and I guess I'll stick with it. Yeah, it's got to be Matt Sells. I mean, he's made some great saves. Not even just he's made the most clean sheets. I guess that helps, but he's made some great saves. So yeah, Sells for me. JK.
Did Brian say he's player of the season?
Yeah, he said Mo.
Oh, he said Mo, yeah. Okay. For me, it's Arsenal's goalie, Raya.
Okay.
Pulled off some great saves, man. He's a good goalkeeper.
Cool. Right, you're going to stick with what you've stuck with the team this season in terms of best goalkeeper of the season?
Yeah, I'm with you, Matt Sells. Just the lack of possession that they had, the amount of times that he seemed to kind of get better every game for a while there, which is what you want from a goalkeeper when they started feeling kind of unbeatable. But yeah, he was pulling off some amazing saves, incredibly consistent. A little bit of the story of the season, they could have done, if they'd had a couple of better results and they'd finished Champions League, it'd be mental. But yeah, I'll stick with it. They did tail off. They definitely did tail off. But no, I think he was a top bloke. Big part of what they did. Fair play to him.
G, goalkeeper of the season for you?
Yeah, rather not surprisingly, I'm not going to say Raya for me. I think he's got that moment of clownness in him, where he's getting lobbed and he's doing things above his station. So I agree with you, Matt Sells. I think has been the most consistent, very good professional player. And as, Brian said, improvement is there as well. For me, Raya's not that top goalkeeper yet.
Oh, fair enough. So Sells wins that board off someone from us. Okay, that's fine. All right. So next will be defender of the season. We'll go the other way around, and we'll start with you, G. Your defender of the season.
Tough one. Obviously, he's been injured, but for me, Gabby Magalhaes above William Saliba, actually. For me, a bit biased, I know, has been player of the season, defender-wise. I don't want a panel think, but yeah, I think without him, we've seen Saliba's frailties. I think Magalhaes has been pretty spot on, and obviously he's contributed a lot with his headed goals as well, which is an added bonus, I feel.
Okay, Gabriel, yeah, played well, and yeah, but then just the injuries. Okay, Brian.
So this is like covering left backs and centre halves and right backs. Yeah, it's like just defender of the season.
No, so just defender. Yeah, so just covering all of them. So who's your defender?
Right. Okay.
Right back or centre back.
Yeah. Okay. Well then, I'm going to go a little bit outside the box.
Mm-hmm.
If it was just if it'd be centre halves, obviously I'd have to just give it to Virgil. Boring again. But most impressive, most kind of all different things. I'm going to go defender of the season, Munoz.
Fair play. He's had a very brilliant season. He's going to be, I think he's getting on, but I'm surprised he's not going to.
Yeah, he's not a kid. Yeah, he's not I think he's 28 or something now.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not a new kid on the block or anything, but yeah, I know he played wing back, but to go just outside Europe, but we had him in our team, I think, or I did anyway. But yeah, I'm going to go with him. I thought he's really just, yeah, he'll probably never have a better season than this. Maybe, winning the Cup of Palace and being one of the best players in the league, definitely his position. So I'll go with him.
No problem at all. And just for reference, obviously in chat, big up G. Obviously he's dad duty, so big himself up. He just had to
Bless
go.
you.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
we'll big up himself anyway.
Top guy, man.
Yeah, so he's gonna go off. Okay, no problem. Okay, no, that's an interesting one, right? Yeah, I agree. He's been great. Been great this season. What about yourself, JK?
There's only one guy for that. Captain of our team, Liverpool, Virgil van Dijk, man. Top season.
Yeah. You know what? I'm gonna go off the cuff. VVD probably would be. I think I know if 12 was here, he'll be jumping for joy. I'm gonna go with Robinson from Fulham.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I thought he's been very good. Double figures assists, and even defensively, he's been very good at times. Gives Fulham an outlet, left or right. He's played left back when they've changed the system to wing back. He's been very good. Yeah, I mean, it's a very, very good season. But I think the Kirkers drive, Kirkers had a good again, he's getting undermined a bit, which I think ain't right because he's had a very good season. And he's the cap. No, is he the? No, he's the captain of Fulham. Yeah, he's the captain. So.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
And he's a Scouser.
Yeah, exactly, innit? Yeah.
The chat can let us know who they want as well.
Yeah.
So we've had the goalie, defender. No.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. Are you jotting them down there, Nancy?
Yeah, I'll just jot them down in a minute. So hold on, just give me seconds. I think because G's gone off, so we'll just focus it. We'll focus it on us. So give me a second, guys. I'll just get your answers again, and we'll recap it at the end. So, Bry,
Salah, Sells, and Munoz.
Mo, Sells, and Nunes. Okay.
Player of the year, keeper of the year, and defender.
Yeah.
Lovely. So, sorry, guys. I'm just copying this down while I speak. Just bear with me.
Nice one.
So actually, guys, just keep talking for a minute while I just jot some of these down.
Okay, and I'll tell you my list as well, bro. I've gone Salah, then I've gone Raya, and then I've gone Virgil. I think everyone chooses different anyway. You know what I mean? But we consider if someone in the chat can put one in, that will go the majority then, because we all chose someone different. But we can push on to the midfield then. Brian, midfield.
Midfielder of the year.
Yep. Like Bruno Fernandes had a great season, bro. Even though his team are not great. I would never pick him, but I'm just saying that.
There's a few. There's like 4 or 5. Depends, but I go with more attacking type of player. I'll say Tonali.
Okay. Okay. I will go. One second.
Oh,
Rogers. Yeah, I'll probably go Rogers. You know.
Yeah.
No, actually, you know what? I'll give it Gibbs White. I think Gibbs White was solid the whole, like, he had a top season. Gibbs White, yeah.
White, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Fair play. This is an interesting one. Tonali.
Look, I can run through the midfielders on the Premier League app total points wise.
that's
If you what it is, they've mixed it up with like Salah and Bembu. Well, I put them in attack. I would. So I'll just sort of call out names that are in the top list. Yeah. Palmer. What would you view Palmer as? An attacker or a midfielder?
no, he's not a midfielder for me. He's an attacker.
So for me, I'm going to okay. Bruno Fernandes. If we're going midfield, Bruno Fernandes is up there. Rogers, Cliver, Gibbs White, Eze. What would you class Eze as?
He's like a number 10, isn't he?
Yeah, that's how I see it.
Yeah.
Then you got Szoboszlai. Szoboszlai's up there as well.
Yeah.
He's got more points than Bruno Guimaraes. Mad, eh?
Yeah.
That's mad. But Szoboszlai in the top 6 games always he's doing well. So for me, he's a big game sort of player. I think if the occasion is big, he will turn up, bro. It's a weird.
Yeah. For me, I'll probably. I think some suggestions are quite good, but I'll go for Gravy, man. I'm gonna go for Gravy. Brilliant. Just a shame he didn't get his goal, at least a goal. That's the only thing. But I just think he's been superb. Just dropped off a little bit, but yeah, man, he's done bits for us. For a man, he's played a role. People need to forget he has played number 6 before at Ajax, but to be a full season and to just learn, and yeah, he's got a lot of improving. Just a shame he couldn't get some goals at the end of the day. So yeah, for me, yeah, Gravy for me. Guys, yeah, let us know in the chat if you're there. Just let us know some of your plays of the season. That'd be great. Be much appreciated. Oh, looks like JK's had enough. Don't want to do no more, JK. He wants to fall back, Brian.
He's gone, is he? Oh.
Yeah, he just dropped out. He's just dropped out for a minute. I'm sure he'll be back in. Yeah, there he is. There you go.
Yeah.
We had enough, JK.
Nah. No, I was saying to you guys, like sometimes the phone calls and stuff cut out your feed and stuff. It's a bit annoying. Like, you need to sort out the settings, maybe to stop that.
Yeah. All right, we're gonna get
Dortmund have signed Joe Bellingham.
Oh God, yeah.
Say again.
33 million. Dortmund have signed Joe Bellingham from Sunderland for 33 million.
They're going to make that into 100 million one day, aren't they?
Yeah, I think Job should have just stayed at Sunderland, just for playing the Premiership at least for a season.
Least 1 year, at least.
It's a bit, it's a bit too easy. Yeah, I think it was a bit big-headed, but fair enough. Dortmund, good player, but he should have respected Sunderland at least. Look, 1 year and then fine go, but here's what it is.
Yeah.
Weird
on that. Weird.
Yeah. I see what he's done.
We better not be ever interested in him. I'll say that.
Oh, yeah. God,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, that'd be a headache, innit?
Yeah, I don't need that.
Literally, innit? Oh dear. All right, we'll come to the striker of the season. Now, obviously, it's going to be, it's an out number 9, but I guess we'll just have to do it across because most teams play 4-3-3, wingers / forwards, whatever you call it. So we'll do it that way. And so I'll start it off. And it's only one name. You know who it is for me. So,
Jacob Murphy.
How we do this.
Brian's favorite program. Yeah.
So Mo.
But fair play to Jacob Murphy. He had a good season.
No, yeah, definitely, man. Very, very one of the players had a great season. It's come out of nowhere and just solidify his, his
right
stuff.
wing sort of position.
Yeah,
as well. Never fair play. Best he's ever played, I reckon, in my opinion.
Yeah. JK, who's your?
Oh, there's only one guy for it, bro. Salah. No one
Yeah,
else.
no, yeah, of course. Bro, is that a hat trick? Is that a full house?
Well, this is forward of the year, yeah.
Yeah, forward of the year, yeah.
Well, I've already given Mo Player of the Year, so kind of has to be him. But if it wasn't going to be Mo, there isn't exactly a huge group of players out there this year either.
Mm,
Yeah, so it would be Oh, it'd be Mo. Be Mo.
I hear that. All right, full house, yeah. That's fair enough. All right, we'll go to, well, I guess this will be an obvious question, or I could be wrong. Who knows? I mean, we shall go to the manager of the season. So, obviously, I'm just off slot. Done for me. What about you guys?
Yeah, Slot as well.
Full house?
Very close to being Nuno.
Yeah, yeah.
Very, very close. If Nuno had got Champions League, I probably would have given it to Nuno.
Mm,
But they'd almost like, it'd be like kind of sharing the podium because it'd be hard, you know. But Slot absolutely should get it. Yeah, 100%. First year in the Premier League, and he comes in, he just strolls it.
yeah.
So yeah, but yeah, it has like more than an honourable mention for Nuno.
Mm-hmm. No, I agree, Brian. I'll say your comments. I probably would have been the same as you if he would have done it, you know. Okay, right. The next category, which is an interesting one, it's overachiever of the season. So, which team overachieved this season out of expectations? First of all, we'll start with yourself, Brian. The overachieving team of the season.
Oh well, goalkeeper of the year, you know, the whole lot. It's got to be Forest, even though they spent it. You know, they did spend money, an awful lot of money, but everyone does. So to do what they did, I mean, there could be a case to be made for Liverpool having overachieved this year with an iconic manager leaving, no new signings other than Chiesa, a brand new manager that never played or never managed in this league before. You know, if you look at all the preseason predictions, and not by fan channels, just by like bookies and journalists and all that, it wasn't like shade, but like Liverpool weren't expected to win this league this year. It was expected maybe Slot will come in, take a bit of time. Jurgen's leaving, all the contract situations. So I think there's a case to be made that Liverpool overachieved this year's expectations, but not overachieved sort of the club, if you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, it has to be. Yeah, maybe even Nuno. Yeah, no, Nuno and Forest, but yeah, Forest definitely.
No, fair enough. Fair enough, Brian. Definitely fair enough on that. JK, what about yourself?
Slot. For me, Slot. Yeah.
Oh no, the team, overachieving team of the season.
Okay, Forest. Then, yeah.
You see, you're from slot out to slot in, eh?
I had no choice, bro.
You converted, JK.
No, he won the league. I can't really sort of moan about that, you know, argue with that.
Yeah.
But for me, yeah, Forest. I think Forest had everyone on their toes. You know, I think Forest kept Man City and all these sort of teams sort of focused like, if them lot get it before us,
Yeah.
we're done, you know what I mean? So I think Forest kept everyone else, and at the end, Forest ran out of steam, you know? So, but Forest, I think they should be disappointed when you look at the position they were in.
Mm-hmm.
They should be really disappointed they didn't get Champions League football.
Yeah.
I would be if I was a Forest fan. That's why I say, until it's concrete and it's sort of confirmed, don't ever celebrate it. I can imagine a lot of Forest fans were celebrating, oh, we're getting top four before these guys and this, that, and the other, planning next season already. And look what happened at the end, bro. So that's with anything in life, you know, till it's concrete and fixed, don't celebrate.
Yeah. It's a difficult one, isn't it? It's a difficult one. Yeah, it's true. For me, I mean, it's hard, isn't it? Yeah, I mean, Forest will be disappointed, although they've achieved brilliantly. You could say Liverpool a little bit, because no one expected us to win the league. But I'm going to go a bit different. Although not a lot of them, like Liverpool, had them in the top 4 or 5, but some did. I'll say Newcastle for me.
Yeah.
I'll say Newcastle. Champions League again, plus with a cup, kind of cup they beat us. I mean, you have to say I think they've overachieved a bit this season. You wouldn't have thought that at the start of the season. So yeah. So fair play to them. Anyhow, they gave us a beating at Wembley. Not that hopefully we don't have to witness that again, which we were poor, absolutely trash. But Newcastle played their thing, and Isak did. As a team, they were hungry for it, and fair play. So yeah, so it'd be Newcastle for me. Okay. So the next one we'll go into is the underachieving team of the season. So what team has been a bit of a flop, disappointment this season? First of all, we'll start with you, JK.
There's only one team, bro. Man United, man.
It's got to have a number in it, yeah.
Man United.
Oh yeah, by the way, sorry. With this, you can do a joint. Like if you can't think of just one, you can do a joint vote for both teams. So just to let you know, guys.
Yeah. For me, Man United, money spent over the years and how big they are as a club. Even Tottenham had a better season than them. They've got Champions League football, bro. Mm-hmm. So for me, Man United, 100%.
Cool. Bro?
Flop of the season. Yeah, I think Martin Odegaard could have a.
Oh no, bro. Oh, bro, I was mentioning underachieving team of the season. Which team had
team.
a stinker? Yeah.
Well, obviously Man United, but Jake is picking it, so I will just say, Leicester. I think Leicester should have stayed up. I don't think Leicester should have gotten relegated.
Good shout. Okay, my one is for a team that I thought made some very good signings, and I thought they'd be challenging for the top 6, 7, and they've just had the manager got sacked halfway, and there hasn't been no manager bounce. And will be West Ham. West Ham, for Locatelli is a good manager. I don't think he's a very good. I thought he was the right club fit for him. He done well with Wolves. He got them playing a certain way, and he made some good signings. I thought, Kilman, Psycho Somerville from Leeds, Antonio. I thought they'd be much better, Ward-Prowse, but they've just kind of been, with Kudus and Bowen. It just hasn't happened. They've just kind of been a very disappointment. Locatelli remember we slapped them 5-0, and I think he got sacked right after. And with Potter, it just hasn't happened. I mean, they got a few wins at the end, but it's just been they've been disappointed. You would have thought there'd be the signings they made, this top 6, 7, I thought they would challenge, but big disappointment, big flop for me. So, yeah, I'll say West Ham.
Yeah. I agree with you, bro. Quality players in the squad. Never done nothing, really. We beat them. We scored like 10 goals against them in 2 games, so come on.
Yeah, exactly. All right, the next one we have category would be goal of the season, and I'll start it off, and I'll say I like Salah's one against Brighton. I like Mitoma, but you know what? I got to be fair. Mamouche's strike against Bournemouth, that was a disgusting goal. That was disgusting, and the swerve on the ball. Yeah, that was disgusting. So, yeah, for me, I'll give it to Mamouche for the game against Bournemouth. So, yeah, Mamouche for me. JK?
Yeah, I'll go the same, bro. Was it the top goal? Top goal. Even though Salah's against Brighton, beautiful.
Brian?
Any list of contenders? No.
You've got Mamouche, you've got Salah versus Brighton, you've got Mitoma, I believe, against Chelsea. You've got Palmer against Brighton. So there's a few there. Let me just check. I
I wish
think.
we could have a screen and just like play like 10 goals.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's 4 to name. You've got O'Reilly, Brighton against Leicester. There's a few there. Is anything you can think that comes to your mind, bro?
Think about our
McAllister.
team.
What was that, bro?
McAllister.
Oh yeah, what against Spurs?
Yeah, against Spurs, that was a beauty. Yeah.
Yeah. So your one will be McAllister, yeah.
No, that's just another one that comes to mind.
Cool.
There's you can put up the video from the Premier League if you just mute it.
Okay. What, on the website?
Just from on YouTube, just share it off YouTube. Just mute it. I'm watching it here now.
Okay.
All
Maybe we
right.
can do that.
I can present it if you want.
Yeah. All right. Then 2-6.
There's one that's only like, if you put in goal of the season, it's only like 3 minutes 21, and it's the Premier League one. Just mute it and you'll be fine.
So Edward say who's on the channel
this
today?
is Fozzie channel. Oh, Fozzie's channel is monetized, isn't it? Sorry, yeah, this is Fozzie's channel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
you might not want to do it on this show. It's cool to show stuff like if you mute it if your channel isn't monetized.
Yeah, because it
But
is.
yeah, the channel is monetized,
Okay.
so yeah.
We'll find out if
yeah,
you
you
can.
probably shouldn't.
Yeah. I'll just quickly read the chat quickly. Who's on the channel? It's me, JK, Fozzie, Nalante, and Brian, the Irishman. I'll put their links in the chat as well for everyone.
There's
And
one
then,
I forgot. There's one showing it there, JK. John Duran.
Mhm.
Remember John Duran? Stuck him in the top corner from about 40 yards out.
Yeah.
That was another good one.
Okay. I was trying to think who else, man. Even for us, like,
Cody scored one against Leicester. I mean, from the angle.
No, not having this Nicholas Jackson one they're putting in. It was a class break from Chelsea.
Oh yeah, I know. I wouldn't classify that as a goal of the season. That was just a decent move.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, there's that Harry Wilson one. That crazy back flick.
Flick, yeah.
Okay, you got a few then.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've got the Isaac one versus us. That's an incredible strike.
I'll tell you the truth. That one against us, Isaac, what a goal.
Yeah, you got against Newcastle, Cliver against Newcastle.
David Brooks as well. That's a good one. Kind of side foot volley.
Anyone a clear winner for you, bro?
John Duran.
Oh,
that John Duran strike. I'm going to go with that. I love the Harry Wilson flick was ridiculous, but I'm going to go with that John Duran one.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to have a quick relook later on that.
Yeah? All right.
Yeah.
Duran.
I'll tell you the answer tomorrow.
Duran. Yeah, Duran. Okay. So that is yours. Okay. Cool beans. Big up everyone's watching. And then after this we'll JK will go through some of the messages. Okay, here's one. We've got 4 more categories left. So best signing of the season. Brian, you want to start that off?
Best signing.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to think of players who came in as well.
It wasn't a vintage year. Jeez, man.
Nah, it's true, man. Let me have a quick look at the players we got here.
Murillo, Milenkovic, one. Well, I guess if you want to do 6 months, then I guess Mamouche potentially could be there. Just two names.
Yeah, because like most of the players on the list of the highest point makers are already there. Yeah. I can't think. Who else is there? Was that Evan
I'm really
Nielsen?
struggling.
Evan
Was
Nielsen? Was that his first season? The one
Yeah,
at
he was
Bournemouth.
JK. Yeah, he was. It was his first.
Yeah, have a look at him. Okay. I don't think how many goals he got. Okay, we go. Look, he got 12 goals, 1 assist, 34 games. Evan Nielsen, yeah. 12 goals, 1 assist.
Yeah, I think I'll go Marmouche.
Yeah?
Mamouche, yeah.
Yeah. There hasn't been a
Like a major
great
player coming.
signing.
Yeah. I just got Evan
Banged
Nielsen.
a load of goals.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Evan Nielsen's a good shout too. Kind of gone up under the radar a little bit there. Kind of Kluivert was taking all the headlines for a while. Shit.
Yeah. 12
Sharp
goals
is.
is not bad. It's not bad.
Yeah.
First season. Can work on his assists numbers. He got 1.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
12
no.
goals at a club like Bournemouth is a good show.
It's okay.
So both of you go for Evan Nielsen, yeah?
Yeah,
I go Marmouche.
Oh, Mamouche, bro, yeah? Okay. So Mamouche for you. For me, I'm stuck between 2. Minter for Brighton. I thought he's had a good season. Very good season. Gave us a bit of at the end. I know we won the league, and the other player was I think Brian. I'm surprised you didn't mention him, Ndiaye from Everton.
Yeah, I was thinking about him.
Yeah, I think he's had a very good season.
I wasn't sure.
He got injured,
I wasn't sure if it was his first year.
Yeah,
if it's his first year. No, that's a fair point. I'll change to him. Yeah, I'll change it to him.
Yeah. Okay. You know what? I'm gonna go Minter. I mean, either him or actually, I'm gonna do the first joint. I'll start between him and Ndiaye. So Ndiaye. So I'll just put that Minter, and you said Ndiaye. So that's fine. I'll just put that down. Cool. Okay, yeah, like you said, guys, I don't think it was a finished one, but you know.
I don't think 12 man's prediction is going to come right.
Exactly, bro. That's it.
Yeah, he said it was going to be the signing of the summer. I think he was going big on that.
Yeah.
I don't think that's going to happen, unfortunately.
Nope.
Yeah, but like you're just trying to think. It's like, who did people sign? You know.
Yeah, Villa signed. No, I don't think he had a great season.
Started well.
Yeah, started well. Yeah. It's like none of Man City side is the less said the better.
Sancho, yeah, he did a few bits.
Bits again here and there. Wouldn't say Rashford. Newcastle didn't really sign anyone of note. Well, they said Harvey Barnes, but he was in and out. So
But your man Marino did well for us. He went
he
up,
did
did a
took set
job
at the end.
up there as well.
Yeah, best signing. Yeah, true. I probably wouldn't say that.
Who else did Arsenal even sign last year?
Whole load of defenders, Sterling and Moreno.
Yeah, man.
Californication.
Yeah,
Yeah.
California. Yeah, he started off well with an injured, and he's been in and out. And Lewis Skelly.
Timber, he got injured as well, didn't he?
Actually, yeah, Timber was doing well until then he got injured. Yeah.
Yeah. This is it. So, guys, like, share, and subscribe. We're doing big things here. All right. There's one category I missed, but I'll go in that, and then we'll last the last two, and then JK will read the chat. So, yeah. The biggest underachieving player of the season. The biggest underachiever. All right, you know what? Sorry, flop of the season. Sorry, player flop of the season.
Oh, can that include managers?
You know what? Yeah, you can include anything, managers or players.
Yeah.
We'll make it open. We'll make it interesting. We'll make it open.
Well, could you say Almiron? You know, either him or Pep Guardiola for me. Pep Guardiola won nothing, so I'll go with him. Yeah.
So Almiron / Pep, is that a joint flop of the season, JK?
Yeah. Pep Almiron.
All right. The two flops. Or be yourself, your bride. This is an open one, player or manager, wherever you like. Or you can do a joint one.
Could do one for each.
Yeah, go for it. Yeah. Okay then. Yeah, you do one for each, and then JK can follow up with his player flop of the season. So that's fine.
Yeah, again, because there weren't like a lot of big reputation guys that moved in. Like flop would have to be kind of like their first season kind of thing.
Yeah.
So someone that was kind of supposed to do something didn't really end up doing it. I'd be harsh. It's a harsh one, but it's built on what they did last year, and they did go very, 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 very cold. That might give you a clue who it is. But I'm gonna say Cole Palmer as my player flop of the season. And managerial flop of the season. None of those boys down there could have really done. Yeah, Potter, like you were talking about West Ham or Don Potter, could have done a bit better there. Everybody else, like Palace, Fulham, they all had really good seasons. Arteta, no, can't flop if you don't expect anything. So yeah, have to be Amram, 100%.
Yeah. Fairs. JK, what about your player flop of the season then? Just to add to the manager flop.
It's going to be that Mudryk guy from Chelsea, bro. The guy cost a lot of money. You know?
Yeah, no one's seen him in about 6 months, man.
You know what I mean? He got his passport for this. He got his passport for this. Yeah, him for me, player, and for manager, Pep Guardiola.
Oh, okay. You just changed it. Oh, you want to keep it Amarin and Pep?
Yeah, but for me, Almiron, he walked into a mess there. But for me, Pep Guardiola has always brought players.
Okay.
Blah, blah, blah. So, but him not winning anything, not even a League Cup or an FA Cup, is for me big time failure, bro. When do you ever hear that Pep's not win nothing? You know. So Mudryk and him, yeah.
Okay, that's fair enough. For me, thinking about Cole Palmer. I'm just thinking of anyone else at the top of my head.
Phil Foden.
Phil Foden, yeah.
Wow,
Phil Foden, yeah. mean, there's a
big
lot of Man City players I can say there. Bernardo Silva, Guardiola's had a stink of a season.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
Phil Foden
Foden
was
number
Premier
one.
League Player of the Season the year before, and he went
Yeah,
from
you
that
just nowhere.
hero
Yeah.
to zero. But that can
Big
happen
time.
under Pep. That
Yeah.
can happen under Pep, man. Grealish was their
Grealish.
Player of the Season, and then he never played again, basically.
Left
Yeah.
out now, bro. 100 million. So, Joe.
Yeah.
Not even in the squad for the Club World Cup thing.
Kulusevski. Yeah, there's quite a few. Yeah.
But for me, Foden didn't turn up at all. He started the season off late, him and Rodri, because they reached the final of the Euros. They sort out about 2-3 weeks sort of off the first games. And then Foden didn't come back at all, and Rodri got injured. So weird.
Yeah, true. Okay, yeah, Foden for me. I mean, there's others, but I will stick with Man City. Foden. In terms of manager, I'm going to allow Pep only because he qualified for the Champions League. That kind of saved his bacon. So that being said, yeah, I got to give it to Amorim because Postecoglou is gone, and had a stinker in it. I think 6 wins since he's been in the job since November. 6 wins, and then losing to Spurs, who are Spursy. That kind of it's Ruben Schmugen or Rubenez. Yeah, he's definitely the flop for me. Speak. Okay, right. Next one, which I forgot to even mention. And okay, age-wise, I know this is going to be hard. All right, let's just say 21 and younger. So who would be your young player of the season for you guys? I will start it off. And I think you know where I'm going with this. It's the man they called Lazy Gravy for me. So he'll be my young player this season. JK?
Yeah, for me, Gravenberch, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And would that be a round sweep, a sweep round the board for you, bro?
Yeah, how old is Gravenberch?
22, isn't he?
21/22. I'll double check that now, actually.
Yeah, he did get the official Young Player of the Season award. So if he was older, they wouldn't have gave him.
Yeah.
I think that's under 23, I think. Yeah, that's
I think he's under 23, I think. I think he's 22. I think. It must be 22.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Top season, played well. Got better than the season he had before. And next season, hopefully he will have enough time to rest.
Mm-hmm.
He started for Holland. Like most of our players played for Holland the other day. 1-2-0. Gravenberch, Frimpong, Gatko, and the main man, Virgil. So I think Gravenberch needs rest this break, at least a month if he can, because we're not in that Club World Cup. That is such a big blessing in disguise. In a weird sort of way, if we were part of it, we're part of it. But now we've got the chance to rest. You know what I mean? So.
No, that's fine. All right, so rounded it up to gravy, old gravy sauce. So be a great season for him. The others, maybe Nicholas O'Reilly. Obviously for Man City, he done well, but again came in late. Same with Lewis Skelly. You can't for a whole season. He's done well. Jack Hinderwood for Brighton. It's been a decent play for them, but I think Gravy's
Livramento.
Livramento, he's another one you could push by 2021. So but we'll give it to Gravy. I think we all agree. All right, guys. So the last 2 bits now would be predictions at the start of the season. So, JK, we'll start with you first of all. Who is your top? All right, we'll do top 5 because I forgot about the Champions League, which is so annoying. This top 5 nonsense. So, who was your top 5 at the start of the season?
At the start of the next season, for me, always number 1, Liverpool.
No, at the start of this last season, the season just gone. Who was your start?
I had Liverpool as champions.
Okay.
Yeah. that's just because I support them.
Yeah.
It weren't like, oh, we got Chiesa and we're gonna win it.
Yeah.
It was like, we're Liverpool, we're gonna win it. You know what I mean, bro?
Mhm.
But I had like City, Arsenal definitely there.
So what would you say? Liverpool 1 will be your 2, 3, 3. Second at the start. What did you predict?
Of the start of last season, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had like Liverpool first, City second, Arsenal
Yeah.
third, Chelsea fourth,
Arsenal third.
and the fifth one, I can't really remember who had us fifth, but it might even been Tottenham, bro.
Okay, so you had Spurs. Okay, fifth at the time. Okay,
Yeah,
fair play. Okay, well, the most important thing, you got number 1 right. So yeah, that's all that matters.
that was the main one, bro. I was
That's
bothered
the
about.
way it is. That's fair enough. Brian, what was your top 5 predictions at the start of the season?
I had us basically, and I basically said, like, I thought we could win it if Man City had an off year. And I thought they might, because of the players they were losing, the players that were getting older, off the back of, winning everything. I just thought but I was kind of putting us neck and neck with them. But it needed them to drop off. So I probably had them kind of, if I was going to the bookies, if I was forced to put money on it, I think it would have been City, Liverpool, Arsenal, Chelsea, and Newcastle. I think I would have done that. I can't remember exact, but it would have been something like that. Yeah, City, Liverpool, Arsenal, Chelsea, Newcastle, I reckon.
Yeah, all right, that's fair play. Fair play, Brian. Right, that's fair play. My one, I think the same be the top 3 as you said, Brian. I didn't think we were going to win the league. As I said, moves up to occasions. I thought we would have been top 4 at least. So I would have been City 1. I would have said Arsenal 2nd, Liverpool 3rd. 4th would have been, oh God, what did I have? 1, 2, 3. Oh, that's it. So City 1, Arsenal 2nd, Liverpool 3rd. I had Villa 4th.
Oh yeah, all right.
Yeah, I had Villa 4th.
Actually, yeah. Uh-huh.
And 5th, oh God, this is going to be a howler. I actually had West Ham.
Oh damn.
Yeah. Because I thought with the signings they made, the manager, I thought they got a good squad. They'll challenge. They've been up there before, near enough. But yeah, that was a howler. So yeah, I had West Ham 5th. So yeah, feeling really close. So yeah, but I'm glad I was proved wrong with the number 1, of course, as we all are. But yeah, there you go, guys, and that's some of our predictions. Play of the season predictions. So I'll just recap it again. And then JK, you can go through some of the chats, and then
Are we doing for next season predictions? What's going to be?
yeah, we can leave that for another show. We'll leave that for another time.
Yeah,
let's leave that for August. Let's leave that for more close to the season, because we don't.
I've got an early prediction. Yeah,
I know you.
Well, for me, Liverpool number 1. We're going to win it again. Watch.
Yeah. All right, I'll just go through it, and then JK, you can rattle some of the chats when I finish, and then anything else we can add, both you want to say, and then we'll wrap it up. So, for the play of the season, obviously all of us, me, Brian, JK said Mo, and the goalkeeper play of the season. JK said Raya, and me and Brian said Matt Sells. Defender of the season, Brian said Nunes for Palace, JK for VVD, Captain Fantastic, and I said Robinson. Midfield of the season, and Brian said Tonali, JK Gibbs White, and I said Gravy, Lazy Gravy as he's called. If you don't know what I mean, it's all right, don't worry, it's a joke that someone called Gravenberch lazy, but that's fine. Right. The next one was bear with me. Yes. Forward of the season, all of us said Mo. So Mo was, nice winner. I mean, I don't clash Mo as a striker / forward, but Wingard, but that's fine. Manager of the season, all of us said Slot, with big ups to Nuno, honorable mention. Then overachieving team of the season, Brian said Forest, JK said Forest as well, and I said Newcastle. Underachieving team of the season, JK Man Toilet, Brian Leicester, and I said West Ham. Goal of the season, me and JK said Mamouche, Brian is Duran. Best signing of the season, guys. JK said Ivan Nielsen. I said Indai or Minte, either one, and Brian agreed with me with Indai. Flop of the season and first the managers. JK said Pep. Brian said Almiron, and I said Almiron as well. For the player flop, JK said Mudrik, who doesn't know where he is these days. Brian said ice cold Palmer. Yeah, I tell you, mate. Yeah, he's ice cold, all right. And then I said Philip Foden. And then young player of the season, all of us agreed on Gravy. And then last, by the top 5 predictions we all predicted at the start of the season. JK, 1 Liverpool, 2 City, 3 Arsenal, 4 Chelsea, 5 Spurs, 5 Spurs. Brian, City first, Liverpool second, Arsenal third, Chelsea fourth, and Newcastle fifth. And myself, City first, Arsenal second, Liverpool third, Villa fourth, and West Ham fifth. So me and Brian are happy to say that we were proved wrong. So that's great news. But yeah, that's it, guys, for the season players, the player facts of the season and managers and that. But yeah, JK, can go through the chats, bro.
Nice one, man. Nice one for doing that. Just bonkers. He's saying Buki Lava. My main man, Buki Lava, are saying that Victor Osimhen rejected Al-Hilal's 5th offer. It's not about money. He wants to stay in Europe. Well, I think he's Chelsea's type of player for me. If he's going to come to England, he'll end up at someone like Chelsea. Ravi, I can't see Isaac ever coming to Liverpool. Depends on his injury and that speculation about an operation. It's just some Newcastle lads doing a show. And they were going on about it, so maybe something we don't know, And then Rabbi also says we know Liverpool prefer a false 9 from how we play for the longest. True. And Brian's got a question for us, everyone. Why did Klopp spend 85 million on Darwin? Lante?
Brian, no. I mean, if 12 man gets hold of this, Brian, there'll be another debate.
No, it was just someone said we know we play with a 9. We've always played with a 9. So why did he go?
Oh, yes.
A false 9. But listen, lads, I got to drop. I've got to go and get some food ready.
Nice one. Nice one.
Cheers
on,
for
bro.
that.
No, big
all
up,
right,
bro.
I'll talk to you soon.
Yeah, we'll catch up, bro. Nice one.
All
right.
Yeah, for me, bro, why did Klopp spend that? Because for me, bro, Liverpool are a club who play with the 9. Rush, Suarez, Torres, you can name them all, They're number 9s, bro. But then you get versatile sort of number 9s. Bobby was, for me, you know how like Trent sort of brought up the attacking right back position, like he was the main guy who did it. I think Bobby was like the guy who made false 9 look attractive to play. Like you wouldn't mind playing that position, It's like a 10 with a 9 all in one. And that's why I think with Darwin, he came in because we played with 9s over the years. It's a tradition we do. We make strikers like score goals.
Yeah.
It didn't go right for Darwin and that. Many things why and stuff. But at the end of the day, bro, when he's on the pitch, he's trying to find his feet in a game where he's got 12 minutes to show the guys that he can score and get a game, start the next game. It's hard, bro. That's hard. I'm not making excuses up for him, but when you're on that sort of gameplay in your career at football, at a club like Liverpool, you're thinking, you know what? I'm going there for big money. I will be the number 9 starting every game. And he has never been that. I hope that answers your question, Brian.
Yeah, I've got to have his dinner to think about it, but yeah.
He's like, I don't want to hear just what he says.
Yeah, I
Okay.
don't want it. No more.
Mr. Battered said, bless up, bro. Osman or Isaac?
Oh, easy. Isaac all day, every day of the week.
Mhm.
Not even a question.
Isaac for me as well. And then Bonkers tells us Arsenio was good for Villa. He was. I think him, Rashford. I think Villa, they got top. They didn't get top 4, though. 5, did they? Top 4's gone now. It's top 5.
Yeah, they just missed off 6. Yeah.
So they missed out, bro. And they had a good sort of Champions League campaign, bro. They beat Bayern Munich at home 1-0. And they sort of do pretty well in the Champions League, I would say. They had a great game against PSG. So, yeah, he was good. I don't know what's going to happen with him next season. And then, is that Easy Nunez or Esse Nunez? Yeah, man. Yeah, so maybe like this week we ain't going to talk about words after today, Sunday. But should hopefully get that done this week. I'm not sure if Brian or 12th Man are doing a show later. I know Fozzie's doing a show tonight at. Give me 1 second. He's doing a show tonight at 9:30. So I hope you guys can come back then. Jump on there. I think me and Alante probably pop on there as well. Maybe some other guests as well. So it'll be good to see. It was good to do a show after such a long time anyway, Alante.
Yeah, 100%, man.
You know, talking Liverpool and stuff like that. At the end of the day, bro, it's all about winning. And patience is also a virtue sometimes. I think things take time sometimes, you know.
Yeah.
And this works deal is testing a lot of people's patience.
Yeah.
But for me, it's going to take a long time because it's a big fee. It ain't a tenner and a bag of chips and a can of Coke or whatever.
Yeah, back in the day. Yeah.
You know what I mean? It ain't like that. This is like big money. It's a big money. Okay, thanks for the chat as always. Press the like button if you can. That'd be very much appreciated by us guys. And we'll catch you again soon, very soon. We'll be spontaneous. Me and Alante, we decide to do a show, we'll do one during the week. Okay, but catch you guys later on Fozzie's channel, on this channel. Bye-bye.
Take care, guys.